Unwind after a show, game, dinner, or anytime at the Blue Martini, Fairfield County's sophisticated new gathering place in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. The atmosphere is pure cosmopolitan, and the light menu is as hip as the lounge itself, featuring mouth-watering blue ravies.
Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ballpark at Harbor Yard. I am Perry Miles for the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. The Bluefish take on the Long Island Ducks today in what appears to be a great pitching matchup. Jose Lo Diaz takes the mound for the Long Island Ducks against Denny Stark. Jose Lo 5-2 on the year with an ERA in the 2s. Meanwhile, Denny Stark is at 6-4 with a 4.20 earned run average. It is a great, fun-filled afternoon at the ballpark on a Saturday. It's great to have you tuned in. I am Perry Miles. The Bluefish won last night's game. Every run was scored in extra innings. There was one for each side in the 10th. 2 runs scored by Long Island in the 11th, but the main hero, Victor Mercedes, with a 2-run single to end the game in walk-off fashion. The Bluefish won 4-3 and improved to 69-50 on the year, 33-16, and 8.5 games ahead of their opponents tonight. The Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network will continue right after these words from our local sponsors, so you have a great time at the ball yard, and we'll be back for more information as well as the Atlantic League scores from yesterday, plus a little bit of a chat that I had with a couple of people from the Bridgeport Bluefish. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs. If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. It's great to have everybody tuned in. The Bluefish are about to take on the Long Island Ducks in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. It was a dramatic thriller last night between the Bluefish and the Ducks. It all ended with a 2-run single from Victor Mercedes, and that's not even half of it. All the runs were scored in extra innings, like I had mentioned in the Bluefish Broadcast Network's pregame interlude, and it wound up being 1 run across a double and a single, followed by a single, followed by the next inning, a walk and a double, a Butcher Boy double. And what a Butcher Boy is, when you square up to bunt, you pull it back as the infielder is moving in, and you hit away. On that play, Giannetti bounced the ball over Javier Colina's head on one chop and was able to get the ball down the left field line into the bullpen, which allowed Tim Johnson to score. He scampered around second base and then third base. He actually nearly fell to the seat of his pants before recovered and got to home plate just in time to score the Bluefish first run of the game in the 10th inning to extend the game one more. The Bluefish had their opportunities to score in the 10th, but they struck out 3 consecutive times against Kane Davis. And the chances that Kane Davis coming into this game today are slim because he rarely pitches in back-to-back affairs because of the injuries that he's suffered throughout the year, and chances are Ricardo Gomez is going to be out. The chances that the Long Island Ducks have to go to those two are slim to none, and ultimately it would be Ivan Maldonado, according to reports, that would take the closer's role tonight because of how much energy was used by the bullpen last night and over the last few affairs. Ricardo Gomez got smacked up in the 11th inning last night, including the 2-run single, but it all started with a walk, a stolen base by Greeny, and then a walk by Tyke Redmond, a Stephen Moss single, which placed runners at first and second. A run had come across to make it 3-2, and the Bridgeport Bluefish struck out twice in a row. 2 batters struck out in a row, including Danny Putnam, who replaced Tim Johnson in the order, but instead of going and panicking, Joe Giannetti came up to the plate. He was the hero last night in the 10th inning by getting that Butcher Boy double. And in the 11th inning, he perhaps was the biggest hero of them all. It set up Victor Mercedes, the physical hero, if you get my drift. The third baseman for the Bridgeport Bluefish, who transformed into the first baseman later on in the game, he came up to the plate. He was down 0 balls, 2 strikes. He worked it to 2-2. He fouled off a few pitches at 2-2, worked it to 3-2. The final pitch nearly clipped the outside corner. It was a borderline pitch that the home plate umpire last night, Andrew Vincent, called a ball. And Giannetti went on his merry way to first base. 2-strike count, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mercedes, and he served the pitch to left center field to win the ball game for the Bridgeport Bluefish, as both Redmond and Moss came home after Greeny had scored on the Moss RBI single. The Bluefish are on fire right now. They cannot be stopped by almost anybody. They are 50-24 in the last 74. That is easily the best record in the Atlantic League over the last 74 games. 21 wins and 6 losses in the last 27, 23-7 in the last 30 affairs. And the Bridgeport Bluefish are 39-23 at home. On this current homestand between Newark and Long Island, guess what? They've won 4 out of 5. They've taken care of business. The Bridgeport Bluefish have a couple of more obstacles to overcome, and one of them is Jose Lo Diaz. Let's review what he has done over the course of the season. He went to the Mexican League earlier this season, and he's a former big league player. Born in 1980 at San Pedro de Macorís in I believe that's Dominican Republic. And he's a right-handed batter, right tosser, 6 feet, 225 pounds, 5 wins, 2 losses on the year, 12 games, 9 starts, 57 2/3 innings. He was transformed from a reliever early in the year to a guy that could extend himself deep into ball games. Now, the last time that he pitched was August the 24th. He got rocked. An 11-10 loss that the Long Island Ducks suffered at Suffolk County Sports Park. 2 1/3 innings, 3 runs on 4 base hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. But against the Bridgeport Bluefish, he has 1 win and 1 loss. He's gone 8 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs in the process, along with 8 total hits, 4 walks on one end and 2 on the other. That's 6 total walks and 5 combined strikeouts in the 2 stints that I'm talking about. And then he lost to Bridgeport on May 14th, a 5 2/3 innings effort of 4-run baseball. You combine the 3 outings against the Bluefish, he has 14 innings of 6 earned run baseball against the Bluefish, which is very average, which is not the way that he has performed this year. If you take into account the way that he excelled over the course of 3 starts, he went a long period of time without giving up an earned run against anybody. He lasted 7 innings again on June the 4th at Clipper Magazine Stadium in Lancaster. Went 7 innings of shutout baseball and a 1-0 win. Southern Maryland 8-3 win in favor of the Long Island Ducks. 6 1/3 shutout, or no earned run baseball. And then Somerset 7 2/3 no earned run baseball, 3-2 win. That was his best point during the year. And about 2 weeks later, he was designated. Well, he eventually went to Mexico, and he starred there. He last played in 2008, splitting time in the Texas Rangers and the New York Mets organizations. As far as baseball is concerned, he made it to the Texas Rangers in 2008 as a 28-year-old, and in 2006, he was a member of the Kansas City Royals. Meanwhile, the Bridgeport Bluefish support Denny Stark on the mound. He is from Denver, Colorado, and Edgerton, Ohio is where he was born. 6'2", 210 pounds. 6 wins, 4 losses, a 4.20 ERA, 32 games, 13 of those 32 have been starts, 1 save, 109 1/3 innings, 68 strikeouts, 52 walks, 110 hits. He's coming off of Tommy John surgery from a year ago. He has not performed very well of late, with the exception of the start against Newark, when he lasted 7 innings, earned a no decision, did not give up an earned run, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. The 2 prior starts, he served 8 innings and allowed 11 earned runs, which allowed his earned run average to blossom to where it is right now. At a point, he was down in the low 3s. Now it's in the lower 4s. So you don't pitch as well, your earned run average is going to take a hit. And the number of walks is a bit alarming, 52 walks in 109 third innings. He's giving up a tad more than a hit every inning, but the Bridgeport Bluefish are looking for him to get onto a strong start and make his way down the stretch of being a highly effective pitcher. And against these Long Island Ducks, he's had mostly relief appearances, but let's go over the 1 start that he provided for the BBs. It was in a 12-7 victory by the Bluefish, but he earned the no decision. 5 innings of 7 earned run baseball, 9 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And the opponents that day hit .391. And I'm sure Javier Colina gave him a little bit of trouble, because I remember him hitting a solo shot off of the right-hander at Suffolk County Sports Park down the left field line. And Suffolk County Sports Park has the same dimensions as this park, except the ball carries a little more. It's a little hotter at that ballpark because it is over land, as opposed to getting the sea breeze or the breeze from the water, which is going to flow over towards Bridgeport. Bridgeport's right next to the water. Suffolk County Sports Park, you still have to go a couple of miles to the south to reach the coast and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. The Bridgeport Bluefish and Long Island Ducks only 15 to 20 minutes away from first pitch. When we come back, we will review the Atlantic League standings, the scores from last night, as well as the starting lineups for each team on the offensive side and defensive side. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information. Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for two for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles in the booth. The Bluefish 69-50 heading in, 33-16 in the second half. Meanwhile, the Long Island Ducks 23-23 in the second half, 59-57 overall. And the magic number for the Bridgeport Bluefish is 15 overall. In other words, the number of wins combined with the number of losses Long Island needs is the number in order to clinch a playoff berth for the Bridgeport Bluefish. In other words, if the Bluefish win 15 games, they will clinch a playoff spot. If Long Island loses 15 games, the Bridgeport Bluefish will clinch a playoff spot. If Bridgeport goes 14-1 and Long Island loses one, then then obviously Bridgeport would clinch a playoff berth. Any combination of 15 Bridgeport Bluefish wins and 15 Long Island losses equates to a playoff berth for the Bluefish, who have blasted through August as if it was not much of a challenge. 21-6. The power rankings this week show that the Bridgeport Bluefish, in my estimation, are the best team in the league. The team that is a close second is Southern Maryland, no doubt about it. The third place team has changed, and we'll get to that right after we go through the updated standings, courtesy of the Bluefish Broadcast Network. The Bridgeport Bluefish lead the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs by 2.5 games in the standings. 3 wins in a row by the BBs. Southern Maryland lost last night. Long Island 23-23, 8.5 back of the Bridgeport Bluefish, and Camden 16.5 behind the pace set by the BBs. Somerset Patriots 26-23. Lancaster 23-24. The York Revolution 21-26. The Newark Bears 18-28 on the year. In other words, let's take a look at what has unfolded for the other teams. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs still have the best record. They have a 70-46 mark on the season. They still may own not only the best record in baseball after the second half, but also the top seed in the entire playoffs. The Bridgeport Bluefish have the second best record at 69-50. That's 4 in the loss, 1 in the win, which is 2.5 behind. Split it down the middle as a result of making up ground. The Bluefish have 21 games left. Southern Maryland has 24 remaining on their slate. After that, it gets dicey. The Somerset Patriots were down by 4 games in the standings in the first half, 40-30 as opposed to 36-34. The Somerset Patriots are 4 games up on the York Revolution. They have made up the ground necessary in order to catapult themselves up top. They are 62-57 on the year. The York Revolution 21-26. They are 61-56, which means the York Revolution are ahead in record virtually. Once that has been proposed, after that it's Long Island. They have a record 2 games above 500, and that's at 59-57. After that, the pack starts to thin out a bit based on the overall record we mentioned about. Camden 55-63, Lancaster 54-63. The Newark Bears have been eliminated from the Atlantic League wild card race, and the Atlantic League wild card picture soon. Lancaster and Camden are headed to that direction. It's probably going to be Bridgeport, Long Island, and Somerset, but most likely Bridgeport and Long Island battling for that wild card slot in case the Bluefish do not win the division. And they would need a miracle for the York Revolution to win that division. It does not appear as if that will unfold. The Bluefish coming in with a .277 average, second in the Atlantic League, and their pitching staff 3.92 ERA is also second best. Their defense at third from the top. The Long Island Ducks at 4.58 ERA, ranked fourth. Long Island's batting average at .274, which is ranked fifth. And the fielding percentage itself is at .974. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, courtesy of the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. It is Joey Gathright, the former member of the Kansas City Royals and Tampa Bay Rays. Last year participated with the Norfolk Tides of the Baltimore Orioles AAA affiliate. He's leading off, playing center field. Javier Colina has moved into the 2-hole to replace Ray Navarrete, who has a groin injury. That's the latest. He is out indefinitely. There is no timetable as to his return. He's playing the hot corner. John Rodriguez is in right field, batting third. And so Ray Navarrete, he's being replaced all over the field. Willis Otañez is a designated hitter instead of the left fielder today to replace Navarrete. But Navarrete was the MVP last season, and he was a big loss. John Rodriguez batting third in right field. Robinson Cancel, the second straight night, is behind home plate calling the signals for the starting pitcher, Jose Lo Diaz. Willis Otañez is the designated hitter, batting fifth, while Matt Paget places in the sixth slot and at first base. Matt Esquivel is in left field, batting seventh. Matt Cavagnero is the second baseman, batting eighth, and Eric Monzon rounds out the rotation for the Long Island Ducks. The Bridgeport Bluefish support their starting pitcher, Denny Stark, with this rotation. Adam Greenberg is in center field leading off. Tyke Redmond in right field batting second, while Stephen Moss occupies left field and bats third. Josh Phelps is at first base batting fourth. Luis Lopez positions himself at the hot corner batting fifth, while Danny Putnam is the designated hitter batting sixth. Victor Mercedes plays the second base role and bats seventh, while Louis Rodriguez is the catcher batting eighth. And Brandon Chavez rounds out the rotation for the BBs, who come in with a record of 33 and 16, 69 and 50 overall this season. We mentioned about the standings. We mentioned about the lineups. We also described to you the Atlantic League playoff scenario. But when we come back, we have the venerable notebook. That is Bob Weir's Atlantic League notebook. Some of the news and notes from around the Atlantic League. Then it's off to first pitch from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. We are right before the Ducks and the Bluefish. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for two for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand for all 140 games at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. An excellent rendition of the Star Spangled Banner provided from behind home plate. Now it's time for Luis Rodriguez to take control of the mound because he is going to be calling the signals for the right-handed pitcher, Denny Stark. The right-hander has been excellent as a starting pitcher, even though there were two little bumps in the road that he had to overcome, which allowed his ERA to blossom as high as it is right now, 4.20 ERA. He has lost two of his last three starts, and the last outing that he performed, 7 innings, no earned run baseball, 1 run total, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a 2-1 clipping of the Newark Bears at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. His last 2 starts have been at Bridgeport, and his next one is slated for the road trip as the Bridgeport Bluefish take on the Long Island Ducks today. The Bluefish are 9-5 against their Long Island rivals. If the Bluefish sweep this series, they will win the Ferry Cup. The Ferry Cup is an indication of the competitive rivalry that has formulated over the last 12 years, since 1998, since the inception of this league. The Atlantic League developed in 1998. That was when it first came into existence. Bridgeport and Long Island were two of the very first teams involved in the Atlantic League, designed to give ball players an opportunity to get back into affiliated baseball, high affiliated baseball, AA, AAA, and the major leagues. But the idea as well was to provide family fun entertainment for those that may not have seen it all too often. There were several teams that had to go off the map. The New Haven Ravens in AA. You've seen a couple of other squads having to reduce their seasons dramatically, such as the Connecticut Defenders, now known as the Connecticut Tigers, located in Norwich near Providence, Rhode Island. We are almost underway. Joey Gathright steps in. The infield defense is pretty familiar. Josh Phelps is in the lineup today. He's at first base. He's at the lip of the infield grass near the cutoff. As the first pitch to Joey Gathright labeled inside. We are set to go. 1 ball, no strikes. It is Gathright, Javier Colina, and John Rodriguez. The home plate umpire tonight is Matt Beaver. The first base umpire is Brett Brewington. Over at third is Andrew Vincent as the pitch scuffles low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Denny Stark has had some issues dealing with Matt Beaver this season. Many of the individuals have on the Bridgeport Bluefish. Matter of fact, one time he did get ejected by Matt Beaver. Denny Stark leads the team in ejections, but it's not for due cause as the pitch is a fastball high, 3 balls, no strikes. He has fire on the mound. He tries to motivate his teammates, and sometimes he has and most of the time, matter of fact, he has justified cause as to why he's performing the way he does. Is a 3-0 links with the outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike. Luis Lopez is at third base. Brandon Chavez occupying shortstop. The second baseman for tonight is Victor Mercedes. Hiram Boca Chica is out as the pitch is grounded to first, bobbled by Phelps, but he recovers and steps on the bag, 1 away. Joey Gathright took a 3-1 pitch inside, roped it down the right side, but was unable to get it past the smothering Josh Phelps, as he was able to block it with his arm and his body to retire the side as soon as he recovered. A 3 unassisted to set up Javier Colina. This year, Colina against the Bluefish as opposed to everybody else. Different sides of the equation. Total opposite, polar opposite. Colina at 287, 6 homers and 23 RBI, but against the Bluefish, he's mastered them as the fastball runs inside. 1 ball last night. Against the Bluefish, last night he was 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a double, 2 walks, and a run scored. He was fantastic. But Long Island just could not find a way to score more runs than they did last night. The 1-0 is poked to short, gathering the baseball and firing across. In time, 2 away. A nice scoop on the other end by Josh Phelps as he was able to get the short toss from Brandon Chavez and use his glove to shovel it up like a hockey goaltender. 2 away. Sets up John Rodriguez, the right fielder. The Bluefish had an outstanding pitching effort from Matt Pike yesterday. 8 innings of shutout ball. Randy Leak, 7 innings of shutout baseball. Both pitchers were tremendous in their efforts. Magnificent placement from each of the starters, and their manipulation of speed was outstanding, which is why no team scored until the extra innings last night. Came down to the underbelly of the bullpen as the first pitch is on its way from Stark. 1 ball, no strikes as the fastball tails high. And to say that there is an underbelly in the bullpen for the Bluefish is a shock, considering that they have been lights out at the back end, especially Julio Alfonseca and Miguel Saladin, especially as the 1-0 is swung on and lined into right field. It drops in front of Tyke Redmond for a base hit. Stopping at first base is Mr. Rodriguez. It sets up Robinson Cancel. Well, to be frank, Miguel Saladin is no longer on the team. He's actually on the suspended list. So the Bluefish own his rights until he comes back. He had to deal with a personal matter. Maybe he will come back to the Bluefish, and then it's going to be another decision that the general manager, Bob Gaughan, and the manager, Willie Upshaw, is going to have to make as far as the roster as the pitch swerves inside on the corner. No balls and 1 strike. Mr. Robinson Cancel, the former member of the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Mets at the major league levels. The 0-1 is popped up to the middle of the diamond. Shading his eyes is Victor Mercedes, but he's called off by Brandon Chavez. He makes the call on the catch as he faded his head away, looking into the shine. The sunshine, that is. 1 hit in the inning, but no runs come across. End of a half. No score from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Unwind after a show, game, dinner, or anytime at the Blue Martini, Fairfield County's sophisticated new gathering place in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. The atmosphere is pure cosmopolitan, and the light menu is as hip as the lounge itself, featuring mouth-watering blue ravies, Bridgeport Bellows, and Angus Blue sliders. And the signature martinis? Try the Bartender Hates You. You'll love it. Blue Martini, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free secure parking.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles in the booth. The Bridgeport Bluefish have a solid lineup going, and there are going to be players left out of certain spots the rest of the season. You know that's the nature of the beast in minor league baseball and independent baseball. You need to put your best players out there. Right now, Victor Mercedes getting the call instead of Hiram Bocachica after his 0 for 5 yesterday. But let's take a look at The starting lineup for the Bridgeport Bluefish is Adam Greenberg in center field, Tyke Redmond in right, and Stephen Moss in left field. 1, 2, and 3 in the order. The defensive arrangement for the Long Island Ducks is such. Robinson Cancel is behind home plate. He's the battery mate for Joselo Diaz, 5-2 on the year with an ERA at 2.19, 9 starts, 12 games overall. Javier Colina is the third baseman, while Eric Monzon is the shortstop. Matt Cavagnero occupies second base. Matt Paget is over at first. Matt Esquivel is in left field. Jody Gathright is in center, while John Rodriguez situated in right field. We mentioned about the umpires. We'll go over it again. Matt Beaver is stationed behind home plate, calling the balls and strikes today. Brett Brewington is the first base umpire, while the third base umpire is Andrew Vincent. So the Bridgeport Bluefish hoping to get off to a better start than they accomplished last night. Joselo Diaz, 3 different pitches. His last outing was out of the bullpen. 2 1/3 innings of 3 earned run baseball, 4 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Ultimately got smacked in the Mexican League when he was down there, but came back as a member of the Ducks as the first pitch quacks outside, 1 ball and no strikes. The third baseman, Colina, in at the lip of the infield grass, expecting bunt from the open stance of Greenies. The 1-0 tips high, 2 balls and no strikes. The shadows are covering the infield grass, but not the sand that's beyond the infield grass, or for that matter, the infield dirt. The 2-0 circumvents the outside corner, 3 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck is Tyke Redmond. He's followed by Stephen Moss. Adam Greenberg on the year, batting at .265, 3 homers and 34 RBI as Diaz delivers his first strike of the game. A fastball clips the outside corner. Diaz works quickly. He holds the glove at the thigh, rotates it back up as the pitch is skied in the air down the first baseline, giving chase at Paget. He's trying to shade his eyes. He leans towards the dugout and makes the catch over the netting, 1 away. A beautiful display of defense from Matt Paget, as he was able to record the out on a PF3 to Adam Greenberg to establish Tyke Redmond in the batter's box. Now, as much as Tyke Redmond has been struggling as a member of the Bluefish, he has the worst average among those regulars, 147 at-bats, just hitting at $190. He's getting on base often enough to where he's making an impact late in the game as opposed to early on as the fastball guides across the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Last night he came up with a walk. He wound up scoring the tying run, and Moss came up with the game-winning plate attempt as the fastball glides outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Redmond did score, as did Moss on the single by Mercedes, who's in the lineup today. The 1-1 scampers high, 2 balls and 1 strikes. So Tyke at a $190, no homers and 15 RBI. He's driving in decent amount of runs. 15 RBI in 40 games is not bad, but he's not delivering at the plate. The pitch is grounded through the right side for a base hit. Gets off to a good start. A single by Tyke. Runner at first base to establish the presence of Stephen Moss. .334 average on the year, 16 homers, 72 RBI, and he has the longest on-base streak by any member of the Bridgeport Bluefish. That is his standing quality. He has been tremendous at the plate, and we'll tell you what his numbers are in a moment as a curveball slides over the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. .334, 16, and 72 does not begin to explain his on-base streak, which is at 26 consecutive games. 33 for 102. That's a .324 clip, but that's not the only statistical matter that you should look at, as the pitch is examined by Moss, but it floats outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has 5 homers, 6 doubles, total of 11 extra base hits in those 102 at-bats, which is a great pace to be on. The 1-1 exudes a fastball inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 12 walks in, so therefore 114 unofficial plate appearances along with a hit by pitch. 21 RBI, so he's averaging an RBI every less than 5 ABs that he is up. He has been knocking the socks off the baseball as the throw to first had to be shoveled up by Matt Paget. 2 balls, 1 strike. And let's not forget, Stephen Moss reached as high as Double-A baseball in his career in the Seattle Mariners organization out of Los Angeles, California. As a 2-1 is lofted high in the air to shallow left center field. Charging over is Gathright. He settles underneath and hauls it in for out number 2. A P8 on your score sheet to establish Josh Phelps. Phelps has an interesting way of making his presence known at the plate. He creates a striped line on the back of the batter's box, then kicks around some dirt before he establishes a couple of tracks, as if they're human tracks, to make sure that his feet are in the appropriate place. The 2-out stretch is inside on the corner, no balls and 1 strike, placed thigh high. And Phelps, more or less, is one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter on the Bridgeport Bluefish. Contact, 303, 6 homers on the season. The pitch nails him on the back. Phelps flips his bat aside, takes off his shin guard. Diaz did not mean to do that. The ball just slipped out, and Phelps is a bit upset at Diaz. The two continue to talk. Diaz is pleading his case. He's sorry. He thought that the ball slipped out. Phelps was just upset that the ball nicked him in the back. Runners at first and second base to set up Luis Lopez. No pitcher would intentionally do that on the mound. They're trying to get as many outs as possible. That would not be a situation which would warrant a brawl or a scuffle. Now, maybe the situation with Brian Barton and Antonio Alfonseca the other day when Barton called timeout when there was a torrential downpour, Alfonseca was in the middle of his stance, he could have gotten hurt. But Diaz, he had no malicious intent with that. The ball just slipped out of his hands, and he explained to Phelps there was no malicious intent there. 2 outs, glove held at the belt. Lopez waggles his bat, back foot in the back of the batter's box. The stretch and the offer from Diaz is poked high in the air to shallow left center field. Drifting back is Monzon. He's called off by Esquivel. He makes the call on the catch. The final out of the inning. 2 runners reach base. Tyke Redmond single, Josh Phelps walk in his first game since returning from a neck injury, but Lopez pops out to retire the side. The Bluefish do not score. The game tied at donuts at the end of 1. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Looking for something to do the whole family will enjoy? Then drop by the box office at the ballpark at Harbor Yard to pick up your individual game tickets for Bluefish baseball today. With 3 great seating options, field box, loge, and reserved, every seat gets you up close and personal with the action at Harbor Yard. Monday is Kids Eat Free Night, presented by Abby J. Novelty Foods. On Winning Inning Wednesdays, fans will have a chance to walk away $10,000 richer. Not to worry, Thirsty Thursdays, presented by Budweiser, are back this year, followed by giveaway nights on Freebie Fridays. If you're looking to catch some afternoon sunshine, it's Chet Family Fun Day on Sundays with pregame team autograph sessions and kids run the bases after the game. In addition to the box office, Bluefish tickets can be purchased online at BridgeportBluefish.com or by calling a Bluefish sales representative at 203-345-4800. Get your tickets now and prepare to be blown out of the water by Willie Upshaw and the 2010 Bridgeport Bluefish. Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. Luis Lopez committed the final out of the inning on a P7. It sets up the 5th place hitter in Willis Otanez as the designated hitter takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. The Long Island Ducks have Otanez followed by Matt Padgett and Matt Esquivel. 5, 6, and 7 as Stark delivers pitches lined on the right field line, but it skitters into the reserved section. 1 ball, 1 strike. The crowd has filed in nicely at the ballpark at Harbor Yard today. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Tomorrow is the finale. Did not appear like such a great draw to begin the day, but people have floated into the ballpark in droves as the pitch is popped up foul down the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is no special promotion today other than maybe a News 12 bag giveaway that's occurring down the left field line near the concessionary areas. But if you want to have a group outing or celebrate a birthday party or have a company picnic, you can do so by calling a sales representative. As Stark delivers, pitches bounce down the third base side and ricochets off the top of the wall before going between the sector that separates the reserved and the field box sections. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can call a sales representative at 203-345-4800, or you can call me about anything, whether it be group outings or, for that matter, the broadcast. The pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Down hacking is Willis Otañez. Yesterday he looked more impressive because he was able to distribute the baseball with authority to the opposite field, and it seemed as if Matt Pike did not have too much comfort in tossing baseballs to Otañez, the former member of the Bridgeport Bluefish. 1 man out after the strikeout, the first of the ball game for Stark. Weighing in is Matt Padgett. He's had a better average than Esquivel has against the Bluefish as the pitch scours low. 1 ball, no strikes. The Long Island Ducks just have not hit the Bridgeport Bluefish this season at all. Take a glance at it. Some of the regulars. Robinson Cancel, for 1, batting .200 against the Bluefish coming into today's action. Let's take a look at Esquivel. He's not performing well at all either as the 1-0 drifts outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Machete could not get the glove or enough of the glove on the baseball to prevent it from going to the backstop. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 man out. 1 hit for each side. The Ducks had their first hit with John Rodriguez, and the Bluefish with Tyke Redmond. Josh Phelps also reached base, and the pitch flutters over the middle of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Robinson Cancel, a .200 average. Billy Kovac at one point was starting. He's at $1.38. Esquivel at $1.35. Matt Cavagnero, $2.39. Those are not very good averages. 3 of those 4 regulars as the floater misses down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Stark distributes a fastball, 2-seam and 4-seam. He's got a slider. He's got a breaking ball. He's got a change as well. He can distribute any number of pitches as he long tosses pitch in there for a strike. Nice glide, shifted his weight forward, and delivered the pitch right down the outside corner. Perfect location. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Padgett in the left-handed hitter's batter's box with a slightly close stance, bumps the bat off his shoulder. The heater glides away. Ball 4. The first walk of the game provided by Denny Stark. And it springs along the 7th place hitter in Matt Esquivel. In last night's game, Padgett went 2 out of 5 with a double and 2 RBI along with a single. So he winds up at first base. You would assume that a first baseman does not present much speed on the base paths. First base and catchers usually do not possess that trait as the 1-out toss serves over the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. I'm not saying that it's an anomaly for a first baseman to be fast, but generally speaking, the first basemen are the ones that train to hit doubles and home runs, not necessarily triples hitters. Josh Phelps is an exception as the 0-1 gets away from Machete. Moving on to second base is Matt Padgett. No harm other than getting the ball by. I believe it's going to be a pass ball from Rodriguez as the ball scampered off his glove and ricocheted to the backstop on the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Padgett has not stolen a base this year. He has not attempted to steal. Meanwhile, Esquivel, he's more of a stolen base threat, 10 of 14, which means he has decent speed. You can measure a stolen base threat based on the speed as the pitch is swung on and bounced down the third base line and kicks into the bullpen for the Long Island Ducks. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Bridgeport Bluefish in their white bottoms, white tops, sporting the navy blue number in the back with the white outline, or the teal blue outline as well, the navy blue caps, the green brims, along with the Bluefish insignia across the chest, teal blue and navy blue for the calligraphy as the pitch is swung on and driven down the right field line, kicks foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And you also have a blue stripe down the left side and down the right side of the jerseys. There is going to be an alternate jersey presented tomorrow. My guess is there's going to be an alternate jersey tomorrow. Tomorrow is also a book drive as the 1-2 steps across the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also, Family Fun Day on Sunday. So kids get to run around the bases after the ball game, and before it, you can get an autograph of your heroes from the Central Coast of Connecticut. The 2-2 fastball weighs outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But of course, not only can you get autographs, but tomorrow, if you have any gently used books or new books that you can donate, do so, because there is a book drive tomorrow. And anything that you can provide to promote literacy in the Central Coast of Connecticut and other places, books greatly appreciate. The 3-2 is spanked into deep left center field. Going back is Greenberg. He turns. He's on the track. He has to play it off the wall. Rounding third and coming on his way home is Paget. It's an RBI double for Matt Esquivel. The Long Island Ducks score the first run. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of Long Island. That ball was creamed. The ball banged off the left center field wall near, or actually just to the left of center, where the batter's view is, to the right of the Budweiser sign. And Greenberg knew he would not have a shot at it because of the momentum carried from the swing of the bat to the velocity that made it carry all the way to the batter's view. 1 man out, 1-0 against Stark, and it sets up the 8th place hitter in Matt Cavagnero. Maybe this is going to be a breakout game for the Ducks. Last night, not as much. But the Ducks, coming into last night's affair, was 11-5, 11-6 in the last 17 games, which has propelled them within contention in the wild card stands. The pitch is grounded up the middle for a base hit. Greenberg charges. There is no one coming home as Esquivel must stay at third. But it's back-to-back hits, a double and a single mixed in with a walk. And the Bluefish are in trouble. The runners are at the corners with 1 man out. It springs along the number 9 place batter in Eric Monzon. Pitch scalded to left center. Next offering grounded up the middle on a high shot that got by Denny Stark. As soon as it passed the mound, you knew it was going to have its way up the middle. And the player at second base, Esquivel, had to wait for a moment as the pitch settles inside. 1 ball, no strikes. The middle of the diamond playing for the double play, about 3/4 of the way back on the middle of the infield. The third baseman, Lopez, about halfway back as the stretch in the offer is whacked at for a punch. No, 1 ball and 1 strike. The first baseman is Josh Phelps. He's holding the base runner at first base. 1-1 your count, 1-0 in favor of Long Island. 6:05 start from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Starts, wind up in the pitch, swung on and chopped to short. Gathering the baseball and fighting the sunlight is Chavez. He cannot record the out. Oh, that ball blinded him. A run scores. It's going to be ruled a base hit. That could have been a routine double play, but the sun is causing so much animosity for the middle of the infield. You wonder how difficult it's going to be to turn a double play if Chavez is having that much of a problem seeing the baseball. Ball was a hard ground ball towards short. Chavez appeared to have it, but then the sun blinded him at the very last moment. He's probably going to have to play the ball differently on the next opportunities. The pitch has popped up to shallow right center field. Charging over and making the basket catch is Tyke Redmond on the move. He was playing shallow for Joey Gathright, and the center fielder does not get the job done. Runners at first and second, but it's a 2-0 ball game. The sun is blinding. And until the sun moves behind the stadium and does not cause all of these issues, you might have more problems for defenders. As Stark leans in for the sign, holds the glove above his knee. No error on the play, just a simple infield single as the ball blinded Chavez. You cannot take into account the effect of Mother Nature as the slider dips over the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The Long Island Ducks in their gray bottoms, gray tops with the orange outline, green fill involving the number in the back, The Long Island in calligraphy across the chest of the pitch is poked foul down the right side. No balls, 2 strikes. With the orange outline in the front as well with the calligraphy and the green fill with the lettering. The number is below that. The Long Island Ducks, traditional colors are orange and green. You also have white as well, similar to the way that the Oregon Ducks have it. The 0-2 scampers inside, having to twist his shoulder to avoid the baseball, is Colina. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He reached base off 5 times yesterday. He's 0 for 1 with a 6-3 ground ball in his very first at-bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 men out. 2-0 Long Island, 2 runs scored in the second inning as the pitch swerves away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But it is not as if Jose Diaz had a strong effort in the first inning. He had his troubles. Stark gave up a single in the first, but 2 runs have crossed as 4 straight runners reached, or 4 straight batters reached. A walk, 2 singles, and a double. Fastball steams high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network would like to thank everybody for tuning in. I am Perry Miles. Runners at first and second with 2 men dead. 3-2 your count. 2-0 the score. 2 runs, 4 hits to no runs and 1 hit. Stark levels the glove at the bell, winds and kicks the fastball blown right by the bat of Javier Colina. The second strikeout of the inning, but the Ducks, they get on the board. They put 2 on the score sheet at the end of an inning and a half. 2-0, Long Island on top. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for 2 for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking. A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for 2 for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Barry Miles on hand. Eddie Putnam making his way to the batter's box for his first official plate appearance, or if he earns a walk and a hit bat by pitch, it may be an unofficial plate appearance. But Danny Putnam has an even stance. The third baseman Javier Colina playing at the lip of the infield grass, not anticipating bunt as the first pitch is a change outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The sun becomes blinding towards right center field. Very difficult to decipher balls and strikes on the scoreboard as the fastball rings outside. Again, 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out. 2-0 your score. 2 runs, 4 hits to no runs on 1 base hit. The 2-0 fastens on the outside to Putnam. 3 balls and no strikes. The trivia question is coming up in the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. You can respond to any trivia question by emailing me at bluefishradio@bridgeportbluefish.com. Fastball glides over the outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike from Jose Diaz. Danny Putnam reestablishes himself in the batter's box. His back foot is nearly outside the batter's box as the pitch is lofted down the left field line, giving chase as Esquivel. He leans towards the corner. Does he have room to make the catch? Yes, he does. He banged into the fence as he made the play. He fires the ball in, but he's leaning over as he might have made contact with the wall with his left knee. He's a bit shaken up. The third base umpire scampered all the way down the line in order to make the call and display the appropriate arm action as to whether it was a fair ball or a foul ball and whether or not he made the catch. And the catch was applied. It counts as a PF 7 on your score sheet to set up Victor Mercedes. A 2 RBI single, the game-winning single last night for the Bridgeport Bluefish. When I spoke with him yesterday, I told him that his stance reminds me of Tony Womack, and boy, it cannot look any more familiar than the former Arizona Diamondback, New York Yankee, and Pittsburgh Pirates. The fastball fastens low, 1 ball, no strikes. The second offering is swung on and chopped down the right side, but kicks foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Obviously, there are a couple of differences. He has not made it to the major leagues in his career. He's only made it as high as Double-A. And second, none of those individuals had ever played for the Bridgeport Bluefish. The 1-1 fastball gets away from the catcher Cancel. 2 balls and 1 strike. His back foot is closer to the inside corner than his front foot. His front foot is facing the shortstop as the pitch is swung on and fouled straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's almost as if it's Jose Bautista, the guy that has his front foot wide open facing the pitcher so that way he can see the ball and attack it. The 2-2's on its track from Joselo, swung on and missed, strike 3. Having to throw the ball to first base is Robinson Cancel as the batter, Mercedes, danced out of the way to avoid the tag. 2 retired, sets up Luis Rodriguez. The first strikeout of the game for Joselo. He has not had a great performance against the Bluefish this season. But what I can tell you is Joselo Diaz ERA against the Bluefish, well, not too many numbers have been very good for the Ducks against the BBs this season. The first pitch scatters inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Diaz against the Bridgeport Bluefish, 1-1 with a 4.09 and 11 innings tossed as the changeup filters high. 2 balls and no strikes. Brandon Chavez is waiting on deck. Bluefish 1 through 9 is stacked. The only question mark you might have is with the ability for the catcher's position to necessarily hit as the changeup hits the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. But Luis Rodriguez cares about defense, calling the games, throwing base runners out, and ultimately guiding his pitching staff to success. The pitch is roped into center field. Backing up is Joey Gathridge. He's on the move and jumps to make the catch and then tries to be like Spider-Man climbing the wall. What a flashy play by Joey Gathridge as he tracked down the baseball on the move. The catcher thought he had an extra base hit, but he is robbed on the L8 to retire the side. The Bluefish do not score a run. At the end of 2 innings, the Bluefish down by a count of 2-0. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. Denny Stark trails 2-0 against the Long Island Ducks. As the first batter is John Rodriguez, he's followed by Robinson Cancel and Willis Otañez. 3, 4, and 5. First pitch scatters outside, 1 ball, no strikes. The sunshine has faded for the most part out of the infield. Chavez still having to battle the sunshine. You wonder if the left-handed hitters are going to hit a couple his way as the 1-0 swung on and lifted high in the air to deep right center field. Going back is Greenberg. He's on the move. He won't get there. The ball is off the wall. Greenberg fires to the shortstop, or is it gone? It is gone. We were just waiting for the call. The ball scurried off it looked like the P.C. Richardson sign, but it is gone. Home run for John Rodriguez, his second hit of the ball game. The Long Island Ducks have a 3-0 lead. Boy, oh boy, that pitch was very hard to tell. Ball you could see right away, but you could not tell whether it came over the wall. And that is the third run provided by Denny Stark as the right-hander deals, and the pitch surfaces over the middle of the plate. No balls, 1 strike. 2 runs in the second, another one in the third. John Rodriguez pounded it over the right center field wall. The 0-1 is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. John Rodriguez, his second home run against the BBs this season, and that's home run total for him. We'll tell you in a moment, as the 1-1 floats in outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. John Rodriguez, his 10th home run of the season. The Long Island Ducks have 5 players in double digits in home runs, which includes the batter up at the plate as the next pitch is stroked foul behind to the netting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Robinson Cancel. 0 for 1 today. Coming into action tonight, Cancel, 11 homers and 65 RBI, a total of 32 extra base hits. The pitch is lifted high in the air to deep left field. No chance. It is gone. Second wall, may have even clipped the netting. Denny Stark hung another pitch up in the zone, and Cancel smacked it out. No chance for Stephen Moss to retrieve. It's a 4-0 lead for the Long Island Ducks. Boy, oh boy, that pitch was crushed. I could see it right from the plate. It was about a neck-high changeup that filtered to the chest, and nothing that the Bluefish defense could do about that. Denny Stark hung it high. 4 runs on 6 base hits to no runs and 1 hit. The Bluefish could not afford to get behind in this game too far as the fastball reigns upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Denny Stark pitched well in his last outing against Newark, but facing a more formidable challenge in the Long Island Ducks. Already has surrendered 4 runs in the first 2+ as the pitches smacked foul to the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike. All 4 runs are earned. And I am not suggesting that pitchers do not have flat outings or negative performances, but Denny Stark gave up 3 consecutive hits, allowed 4 consecutive base runners, all started with a walk to Padgett last inning. A double by Esquivel scored Padgett. Cavagnaro singled to push Esquivel to third, and Eric Monzon singled to plate Esquivel. Then back-to-back home runs in the third inning by Rodriguez and Cancel. The Long Island Ducks own a 4-0 lead. I am not hinting that the Bluefish are out of this game, but the reality is that the Long Island Ducks pitching has shut down the Bluefish for the most part. The first game plus, the 1-1 filters outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Bluefish are going to need a rally, and it must start with the offense. It could wind up being an offensive slugfest where Diaz does not settle down. He just had a good inning and then rotates to a negative image as the 2-1 slowly scampers outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. This is a problem. Back-to-back home runs to Rodriguez and Cancel. Otañez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he does not want to give back-to-back home runs. The 3-1 on its way from Denny Stark. High leg drive to pitch. Flutters down low. Ball 4. Taking his base with nobody out is Otañez. And you may see some action soon down the right field line for the Bridgeport Bluefish bullpen. I know it's early, and I know it might be a quick hook, if you will. The Bluefish have an opportunity to get back in, not only into this game, but they have an opportunity to spend some of their bullpen arms. You know that there's a doubleheader coming up on Tuesday. Supposedly, it is 2 9-inning contests. But, with that being said, the Bridgeport Bluefish did not use much of their bullpen last night. Yes, Alfonseca, Fortunato, and Rivera were used. But you still do have a long tosser, a long thrower out of the pen. Certainly use. First pitch on its way, stroked down the left field line, foul. No balls and 1 strike to Matt Padgett. He is officially 0 for 0. Run scored and a walk. The long man out of the bullpen would be Luis Arroyo. A throw over to first base is not in time. But other than that, the Bluefish going with a 6-man rotation at this time. You have Gonzalez, Mannix, Pike, Stark as the pitch is lifted into center field for another base hit. Moving on to second is Otañez. 4 straight runners have reached for the 2nd consecutive inning. And it springs along Matt Esquivel. RBI double in the first. He also scored a run in that frame. Bluefish cannot afford to have this contest get way out of hand before their offense gets a chance to really dig in against Joselo Diaz. And you wonder if there's something brewing in the bullpen. Well, it appears as if maybe one of the bullpen catchers, which would either be Tom Panino or the bullpen catcher in Jeffrey Fabry, gets up to potentially start warming up a reliever as the first pitch scours outside on the corner. No balls and 1 punch. The Bluefish playing at double play depth. Third baseman Lopez halfway between the lip of the infield grass and the outfield grass. The middle of the diamond shifting 3/4 of the way back as the fastball glides inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Meanwhile, Josh Phelps, he's at the first base cutoff. The outfield shifted towards left center a bit as Greenberg playing to the left of center. The 1-1 scampers low, has legs to the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. You wonder how far Denny Stark is going to be able to perform as he holds the glove at the thigh, drops it to the belt after he brings it up. The pitch is socked into left field for another base hit. Moss charges. Everyone's being held up as the throw comes into Luis Lopez. 5 straight base runners have reached. Denny Stark just looks lost. He's not locating, and you begin to see a catcher, I believe that is Mr. Fabry, getting a pitcher loose in the bullpen down the right field line. And it appears to be Luis Arroyo down in the corner. It's already a 4-0 lead for the Ducks. Denny Stark has just not looked sharp since the first. Second time around for the Ducks has been a feast, a Thanksgiving feast for the Ducks, as the first pitch is a fastball that rides the outside edge. No balls and 1 strike to Cabanero. When Matt Esquivel is hitting and he has not put much lumber on the ball, you wonder what is the problem as Stark unleashes the 0-1, chopped slowly to the right side. That'll get in a run as Stark charges and tags the runner coming across to first base. That is Cabanero. It is a 1 unassisted to retire the batter. Otañez comes across. Long Island has a 5-0 lead Runners move up 90 feet as Paget scoots to third and Esquivel lands at second. Now will the fielders play in? Yes, because they do not want to give up a sixth run. They feel like Long Island is not going to. They feel like if Long Island scores a six, they may be out of it as the left-hander Arroyo continues to warm. 1 ball, no strikes. The fastball misses off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strike, 1 man out. It's just been a slow start for Denny as the pitch hits the batter. That pitch missed inside, and there was no intent. Just Stark, not only did he miss fire, but he's had all sorts of control issues this game. And 2 walks, an HBP. Will that be all for Denny Stark? You wonder how quickly Arroyo is able to adapt himself to the conditions and is able to get himself ready for the ball game. Luis Rodriguez just building a clump of dirt on the right-handed hitter's batter's box. You want Stark to be able to get out of the inning, but the question may be, is he able to? Does he have the proficiency to accomplish such a goal as the first pitch flattens at the outside corner at the knees? No balls and 1 strike to Joey Gathright. The top of the order has not done the damage. Top 2 places in the rotation, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. It's the rest of the lineup doing damage. The next pitch is slashed left side. Watch out. If you're at the ballpark and you're listening into the Bluefish Broadcast Network, be careful. You do not want to get in front of those baseballs unless you have a glove, and even then, ball travels at 93 miles an hour to the bat. Off the bat, it's coming at about 100 miles an hour down the left side. No balls, 2 strikes to Gathright. Bases are loaded for the Ducks. Stark peers in for the sign as he leans over his front knee. The soft toss is swung on and lashed to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. Joey Gathright is hitting. Javier Colina is on deck. 1 man out the middle of the infield, hoping to establish a double play ball as Stark unleashes. Pitches slowly pop down the left side and drifts into the stands. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. There are some scores already deep into in the scoring column from Campbell's Field. We'll tell you what the scores are in the top of the 6th inning as the 0-2 is swung on and popped up to the left side of the diamond. Infield fly rule in effect. The batter is automatically out as the Chavez catch is applied. 2-way. P6 sets up perhaps the toughest batter in the order in Javier Colina. He is 0 for 2 today. The top of the order 0 for 5. But this is a big batter. You know that the Bluefish would like to get Stark this 3rd inning. Maybe he could find a way to settle down and work his way out of certain jams. Already at 65 pitches or actually, I believe it's maybe 66 or 67. As Denny Stark discusses situation with Stark. According to this count, 36 strikes, 29 balls, 65 total pitches. But you know that Colina not care about pitch count. He cares about location. Stark needs to be able to escape this jam without further damage applied to his resume and force the hand of Willie Upshaw to make a move. 2 outs. Glove held below the left knee. Drifts it up to the belt. The first pitch drifts off the glove of Rodriguez. He dives, he throws home, and he nails the runner coming across. What a fortunate break. Matt Paget took off, but the ball did not scatter far enough away from Luis Rodriguez to allow the tag. And so Denny Stark applies the pressure to the leg of Paget to retire the side. 3 runs, back-to-back solo shots, a walk, 2 singles, a hit by pitch. At the end of 2.5, the Bluefish trailing 5-0. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for two for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800. Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of...
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. It's great to have everybody tuned in as the Bridgeport Bluefish are taking on the Long Island Ducks. Game 2 of this three-game series. The Ducks lead by a score of 5-0. Brandon Chavez makes his way to the home plate area against Joselo Diaz. The first pitch is a fastball that strikes the outside corner. No balls in one punch. Nobody out. We are in the bottom of the third inning from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The 0-1 delivers, and the pitch stretches outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 runs on, I believe that's 8 base hits provided by Stark. The pitch is swung on and chopped to short. Gathering the baseball and firing across, having to scoop it up into the dirt, is Paget, as Monzon did not relay it cleanly, but picking up out of the dirt to retire the first batter is Paget. 6-3 on the putout, establishes Adam Greenberg in the batter's box. Joselo Diaz, a hit and a strikeout in his work to this point. The Bridgeport Bluefish down by a score of 5-0 against the Long Island Ducks. Denny Stark has given up 8 hits and 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. A bunt attempt is popped to third, but it chops foul to the left of the chalk as Colino charged in. Greenberg was looking for a bunt base hit, maybe ignite a rally. It's Adam Greenberg and Tyke Redmond, the final 2 batters due up in the bottom of the third. The trivia question for today: which member of the Long Island Ducks has hit the most home runs against the Bridgeport Bluefish? Which member of the Ducks has hit the most home runs against the Bridgeport Bluefish? The next pitch tailed away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bluefish Radio at BridgeportBluefish.com. Adam Greenberg serves a pitch high in the air down the left field line, giving chases. Monzoni's called off, and making the catch is Esquivel for out number 2, piece 7 on the score sheet, about 30 feet behind the lip of the outfield grass at the third base position. 2-way, it sets up Tyke Redmond. Tyke Redmond has the only hit for the Bridgeport Bluefish against Joselo Diaz. And he might have even faced Joselo Diaz in the Mexican League, because that's where the two saw each other. The first pitch from Diaz scampers low, 1 ball, no strikes. 28-year-old and Diaz. Redmond getting up there in age. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Waggles his bat slightly. Even stance, similar to Carl Everett, except he has a close stance and he stands tighter towards the inside corner as the fastball rips outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Stephen Moss is waiting on deck. Joselo Diaz has been effective with his pitch count, 19 strikes, 17 balls, as the 2-0 flattens at the outside corner, and it hits the thighs for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joselo Diaz ready to wind and kick again. Fastball this time was upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike. Redmond has already reached base once. He's trying to get on for a second time as the 3-1 slips away, ball 4. And taking his base with 2 out is Tyke Redmond to set up Stephen Moss at the home plate area. Moss coming into today was one of the elite hitters in the Atlantic League standings. If you take a closer peek at the leading hitter, Stephen Moss is at 334, ranked 3rd in the Atlantic League, 3 points behind Jose Herrera of York, as the first pitch is squibbed foul left side, no balls, 1 strike. York, number 1 and number 2 players belong with the York Revolution and Ramon Castro and Jose Herrera. Bridgeport, Southern Maryland, Lancaster, Bridgeport after that, which includes Stephen Moss and Joe Giannetti, as the pitch scours outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The York Revolution's James Shanks also amongst the top 10, so 3 York Revolution players in the top 10 in Atlantic League hitting, as Moss was able to use the strength of his wrist to hold off the breaking ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. The light fixtures have been turned on at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Not much wind. It is slow. It's a gentle breeze. That's probably the best way to describe it. The shadows forming over the infield and much of the outfield. The sun blinding your sight on the scoreboard is the 2-1. Scalds outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Joselo Diaz walked Tyke Redmond. Could he possibly walk his 2nd consecutive batter? Have to wait and find out. As the 3-1 is on its way from Diaz. Called a strike, a delayed call from Matt Beaver. Moss appeared to be on his way to first base. He thought it ticked off the outside corner, but timing from Beaver was slightly delayed as the throw to first is not in time. Redmond was on his way to second base. A payoff with 2 outs. You know Redmond's going to get as large of a lead as he possibly can. As the payoff is on his way, runner goes, pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Down hacking is Stephen Moss. We have passed through 3 innings from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. A runner stranded by the Bluefish. It is a 5-0 lead for Long Island. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the 3rd base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles in the booth. First pitch on its way from Denny Stark. Slides across the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to Javier Colina. Colina was left stranded at the home plate area after the pitch got away from Stark, and the slide into the tag of Luis Rodriguez or to the slide of Denny Stark was applied, and that retired the final batter. Colina's 0 for 2. The next offering is slugged down the right side and chased out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody outs. The ballpark at Harbor Yard. Long Island Ducks lead 5-0. 2 runs in the top of the second inning. 3 more in the top of the third. That's where we stand. Denny Stark leans inside, and the fastball dropped to the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lots of statistics can explain what the Bridgeport Bluefish success equates to, but I think there's one statistic that tells it all. The wins and losses over the last 70-plus games, the fastball rips high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 15-24 in the last 74. They have a 7-game lead on the Somerset Patriots and an 8.5-game edge on the Long Island Ducks coming into tonight. As Stark winds, kicks, rotates forward, and the pitch is humpback liner to second base. Bobbling it, but then recovering his Mercedes and having to scoop his throw out of the dirt is Josh Phelps. Wow, Mercedes had a lot of trouble handling the baseball, and he was fortunate not to have been credited with an error because Colina does not possess much speed. 1 away on the 4-3. Oh, boy. John Rodriguez steps in. He made the crowd go ooh and ah. And sometimes it's about amazing plays. That one was not amazing. That one was almost unrealistic. First pitch on its track as swung on and lifted high in the air to left center. Driving back is Greenberg. He settles underneath and snatches for out number 2. It's an F8 to John Rodriguez. He missed his second home run in as many at-bats by an eighth of an inch on the bat. That was a deep fly ball near the Budweiser sign, but did not come up with the sweet spot on the bat. Sets up Robinson Cancel, 1 for 2. 12 home runs on the year. But we're asking you about doubles for the Long Island Ducks as the pitch flattens over the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Actually, home runs by the Long Island Ducks against the Bridgeport Bluefish. Bluefish Radio at bridgeportbluefish.com. We're going to provide you with some of the trivia question respondents just the next inning as the pitch swerves outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men out. We are in the top of the 4th inning. The Bluefish down 5-0. Stark levels a curve over at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Long Island Ducks starting rotation does not look too shabby, but the bullpen has been its major issue. We'll see if the Bluefish can get to it quickly enough as the pitch is popped up to the middle of the diamond. Stark points at it. Josh Phelps leans over near the right side of the mound and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Ducks. End of 3.5. The Bluefish trail by 5. It's 5-0. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information. Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. The first pitch is on its way from Jose Diaz, and Phelps swings over the top. No balls and one strike. Josh Phelps walked in his first plate appearance. Jose Diaz has tossed 3 innings of shutout baseball as the sunshine begins to fade beyond the stadium's reach, as Phelps unable to reach that offering from Diaz. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Josh Phelps, Luis Lopez, Danny Putnam, 4, 5, and 6 in the order. An open stance from Phelps, who was recovering from shoulder at first, sore neck, as the pitch again inside, and that hit Phelps. I don't know what unfolded there, but that might have been intentional. There is a warning for each side, so the Bluefish cannot even retaliate. Jose Diaz threw a pitch that plunked Phelps. I don't know why. I don't know what reason. There was not apparently any bad blood. Maybe they're just trying to stir matters up. Get the pot roasting. It's beside. Maybe there was some discussion between Phelps and a couple of the Long Island players that Diaz did not particularly like. Diaz decides, hey, I'm going to throw behind him again. Maybe it's in response to something that happened last night. I'm just not quite sure what's prompted this beaming. However, Phelps is plunked in the back. I believe that's the second time that Phelps has been plunked in the back today. And it sets up Luis Lopez. Boy, oh boy, you might see an angry Bluefish bunch come after Jose Diaz. They do not like when their players are thrown at. You might see something unfold. The first pitch is on its way to Lopez, and the pitch serves outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Nobody out. 5-0 the score. 5 runs, 8 hits to no runs and 1 base hit. Phelps is at first base. He takes a walking lead, scampers to the primary cutoff, the 1-0 to Lopez. Drops low, 2 balls and no strikes. It's not as if Jose Diaz has been very accurate with his tosses today. He's walked 1 and hit 2 batters, so his control's been off. Problem is the Bluefish cannot hit the live arm of Diaz. The 2-0 runner goes, pitch in on the inside corner for a strike. Phelps takes second base. You would have to believe that's a stolen base for Josh. If that is the case, then the stolen base total for Phelps would improve by 1 from 6 to 7. 7 out of 8 this year. The 2-1 from Diaz. Way inside, and it gets by Lopez. The ball scurries up the third base line, and Diaz, through that seemed apparent. That seemed as if Lopez was being thrown at. And the Bridgeport Bluefish fans giving their boos indicative of what they think of Joselo Diaz, and I'm sure the Ducks fans that are in the ballpark tonight, they are appreciative, standing up for their teammates. But you never want to throw at people because then your teammates get thrown at. 3-1 into Lopez. Check swing. Did go all the way around. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a wild pitch. Joselo Diaz looks like A.J. Burnett tonight, when A.J. Burnett was bad. Hit by pitch, wild pitch, walk. The 3-2 on its way from Diaz. Hot leg drive. The offer inside, ball 4. Lopez throws the shin guard away as he scampers to first base. You never want to wake up a sleeping giant, and Joselo Diaz might have done that. Oh, hit by pitch, a walk. Runners at the corners for Danny Putnam. The Bluefish are incensed. They do not have an opportunity to respond to Joselo Diaz's inability to get the ball over the plate as Putnam makes his way to the batter's box. 5-0 your score. 5 runs on 8 hits, no runs on 1 base hit. The Bluefish, everybody on the top step of the dugout now, they're fully aware of the situation. The first pitch to Putnam slides away. 1 ball and no strikes, and it certainly woke up the crowd. They don't want to see their heroes getting plunked every time, or for that matter, Joselo Diaz getting the benefit of the doubt when he pitches inside the 1-0 way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And you can tell he does not have it. He does not. You know, Denny Stark early in the game, he struggled with command because he was throwing strikes, but he did not have the ability to give quality strikes. The pitches were up. Joselo Diaz, he's not hitting the strike zone ever. 2 strikeouts in the game, but he's already walked 2, and he's hit 2 batters at a 2-0 way outside. 3 balls and no strikes. If I were Putnam, I'd take 2. You know that Joselo Diaz is fighting himself, and there is some action brewing in the Long Island bullpen. That's how dire the situation is. They want to win this game badly. The 3-0 from Diaz. Fastball away, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Danny Putnam with runners at the corners. And you know that Diaz is frustrated by Matt Beaver's strike zone, but also the fact that the Bridgeport Bluefish have geared in, they have zoned in on a particular spot for Diaz, and he's only tossed 58 pitches in the game. But, boy, is it a big situation. A hit by pitch, 2 walks. You do not need to get hits in order to score runs. Sometimes you take advantage of the control issues and 1 hit gets the job done. Or 2 hits get the job done and 3 walks. First pitch, dives to the dirt. Victor Mercedes took all the way. 1 ball, no strikes. Luis Lopez was at a 3-1 count before he walked. 4 straight out of the zone from Putnam, and Victor Mercedes takes ball 1 low, the 1-0. Fastball, motors over the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. A double play would be huge right now, even if it meant that the Bluefish scored a run. Long Island will concede that run. The 1-1 from Diaz to Mercedes. Lays low. Another ball that dropped to the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a right-hander is warming up out of the bullpen for the Long Island Ducks. We've already mentioned that Ricardo Gomez and Kane Davis are most likely unavailable to pitch in today's ball game. The 2-1 from the right-hander fastens on the outside corner, clips it, 2 balls, 2 strikes. No question, Joselo Diaz throws with tremendous velocity. He reaches in the low and mid-90s, but the problem is his control. The 2-2 on its way. Curveball misses off the corner. Payoff on its way. The runners will not be taking off as Victor Mercedes faces a big situation. Infield playing halfway on all ends. The 3-2. Fastball outside, ball 4. You could see it right from his release. A run is forced home. The Bluefish score their first run and break the shutout. It's a 5-1 ball game, and Dave LaPointe makes his way to the mound. He's only given up one run on one hit, but he's walked 3. In this inning, he's walked 4 in total. He's hit 2 batters, and he takes the ball from Jose Lo Diaz. His night is over, and the fans making sure that Jose Lo Diaz hears it. And I'm sure the Long Island Ducks fans have not appreciated the effort either. The new pitcher entering the ball game when we come back on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for 2 for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
For centuries, cold beer has remained hidden behind refrigerated doors, hidden within cardboard walls amongst bottles and cans. Cold beer has remained hidden for far too long. Not anymore. Introducing the new Coors Light Cold Activation Window. Now you can see if your beer is cold before you buy it. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Cotton Eye Joe played at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, but the Bridgeport Bluefish playing Cotton Eye Joe to Jose Lo Diaz, saying goodbye to the right-handed pitcher, and a new right-hander is in the ball game as Jose Lo Diaz only goes 3+, giving up 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 base hit. All 3 runners are his responsibility. The new pitcher on the mound is number 30, Chris McCoy. He resides in Lake Grove, New York, born in 1972. He is a veteran, 38 years old. He just turned 38 on August the 3rd. He participated with Long Island in the Atlantic League 2000-2001, and his highest level of baseball is Independent League Baseball. 6'1", 210 pounds for Chris McCoy. We'll provide his numbers in a moment as Luis Rodriguez steps in. He's 0 for 1 today. The bases are chucked. He represents the tying run. The Long Island Ducks will concede a run on a double play ball. Every infielder playing back, including the first baseman, third baseman, halfway down the middle of the diamond, playing 3/4 of the way back. First pitch slides over the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Luis Rodriguez at 226 coming into today with 6 homers and 37 RBI. The pitcher is Mr. McCoy. 2 wins, no losses, a 5.73 ERA, 22 innings, 14 earned runs allowed, and opponents hitting .270 against the right-hander as he holds the ball behind his behind. Drifts it back to the stomach. The 0-1 from McCoy. Slapped down the right side and kicks foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Brandon Chavez. The Bluefish have earned a hit by pitch. 3 consecutive walks. That was the night for Jose Lo Diaz. Can Chris McCoy allow the Long Island Ducks a second life? Maybe a second chance at life. But Luis Rodriguez needs to come up big. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 5-1 score. The Bridgeport Bluefish have the bases loaded. Tying run at the plate. The stretch in the offer swung on and chopped to third. Gathering baseball and flipping second one. On to first. Not in time as it's bobbled. 1 run scores. A second run coming home. He will score. A fielder's choice and an error on the throw by the shortstop Monzon. It's a 5-3 ball game. Lopez scampered home, and Danny Putnam scores all the way from second base on the throw. Victor Mercedes is eliminated as Luis Rodriguez is safe at first base. A fielder's choice. Ground ball. He gets an one RBI, but it is an E4 on the play. Fielder's choice, E4 RBI, 5-3 ball game. 3 runs on 1 base hit. Boy, is this lopsided. It sets up Brandon Chavez. So the Bluefish get 2 more runs off of Diaz, and his line is complete. 3 innings of 3-run baseball, 4 walks, 1 hit, 2 hit by pitches as the fastball misses off the outside corner, 1 ball and no strikes. The Bluefish are in the ball game, 5-3. The tying run at home plate in Brandon Chavez. Open stance on the left side against Chris McCoy. The 1-0 from the right-hander. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs allowed by Diaz. Stark has allowed 5, but he has not given up as many walks. He's not as deep into the ball game, and he didn't lose that total command. He was throwing strike. The 1-1 fastens over the inside edge. Nice backdoor cutter from McCoy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It moved like a parabola from the right side and then straightened out as soon as it hit the inside corner. A ball and 2 strikes to Brandon Chavez at 252, 737 on the year. 0 for 1 tonight. A 6-3 put out the 1-2. Swung on a high chopper to short. Gathering baseball, stepping on the bag 1. Onto first, not in time. Another fielder's choice. 6 unassisted. It sets up a runner at first base as Luis Rodriguez is eliminated, and Adam Greenberg might have something to say. Greenberg is 0 for 2. McCoy's done his job. And the fact is, I believe all 3 runs are earned now because the run would have scored on a fielder's choice. Even though you cannot assume such matter, but the runner would have been in third base. 2 outs. The left-handed hitting Adam Greenberg steps in. The changeup slides over the middle. No balls and 1 strike. It's a ball game. Bluefish have just 1 hit, but 3 runs. Go figure. Not too many official at-bats tonight as Greenberg lets a fastball run away from him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Waiting on deck is Tyke Redmond. The shadows have completely covered the stadium. Sunshine is gone. It's 7:31 Eastern Standard Time. The 1-1 from the righty. Slide step. Runner goes. Pitches outside. The throw to second is not in time. It goes into center field. And Chavez gets up. He's motoring for 3. The throw from right is off the line and had to be gathered by Javier Colina. A stolen base for Brandon Chavez. An E2 on the score sheet. Already the 2nd error in the inning for the Long Island Ducks. They are unfolding defensively before our very eyes. Adam Greenberg, all he needs is a single to put the Bluefish to within 1. Boy. And the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 men out. Just 1 base hit. 1 measly base hit. And guess who it came from? Didn't even come this inning. It came from Tyke Redmond, the 2nd batter of the game. 2-1 from McCoy. Slips outside. You can tell by the release, it was not going to find the strike zone. 3 balls and 1 punch. You can tell from here. Holds the glove high at the set. Winds, kicks, high leg drive, the release. Outside ball 4. Adam Greenberg scampered over to first base even before it came. That's the 4th walk of the inning. The 4th walk, an HBP as well. 3 runs have scored. This is just brutal. Usually when a 5-run inning, or even let's say a 3-run inning. Let's say a 3-run inning is in its process. Usually you need a hit or 2 hits. Usually you do not score 3 runs on no base hits and 4 walks and an HBP. because that equates to just one run. How you score the other two, maybe Fielder's choice. Greenberg on the move. Throw is outside. The throw to second is not in time. It is way high. Cancel could not get it there. Another stolen base, but the strike is applied on the outside corner. No balls and one punch. Adam Greenberg takes off on Robinson Cancel. His stolen base total has improved to 37 for 46, above the 80% clip that he attained last night after stealing his 36th bag in extra innings. The 0-1 from the right-hander McCoy slips outside. The changeup was tantalizingly close to the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Some point the Bluefish are going to need a hit. They cannot just continue to walk and get hit by a pitch, because McCoy's going to find the strike zone some length. The 1-1 from McCoy. Slide step applied. The pitch is chopped slowly at first, gathering the baseball and flipping the ball to the pitcher covering is Paget for the final out of the inning. A 3-1 put out. But the Bluefish, they sport a rally. 3 runs on no base hits. 2 runners stranded. End of 4 innings of play from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. It's a 5-3 contest. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
We welcome you back to the jungle known as the ballpark at Harbor Yard, Bridgeport, Connecticut. The Bridgeport Bluefish put up 3 runs against Jose Lo Diaz. Chris McCoy came in and shut the door. 3+ for Diaz. 1 hit, 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 64 pitches, and guess what? 28 for strikes. That was brutal. And Denny Stark, the difference is, yes, he's walked 2 guys in 4 innings. He's given up 8 hits because he's left the pitches up. If Stark can settle down, he's been provided a second life. The first pitch on its way to Willis Otañez is served into left field. Charging over is Moss. He's on the move and makes the call and the catch for out number 1. And F7 on your score sheet, it sets up Matt Paget. But you know that the Bridgeport Bluefish offense is eventually going to take off. The starting pitching for Long Island is the strength of this team. They do not have a great offense. Their defense, as we've seen, is susceptible to committing costly errors. And let's not forget, the bullpen is one of the worst in the league. Their starting pitching has been a strong suit for the Long Island Ducks. Now, granted, Bill Seamus has done an outstanding job, but if you take the rest of the bullpen, especially with what happened last night, the fastball glides inside, 1 ball, no strikes. The train makes a honking sound across to indicate that oncoming train is approaching the station, but the fans thought of it as a courtesy call. The fastball hits the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bluefish Radio at BridgeportBluefish.com is the site for where any Bluefish fan can answer the trivia question, or for that matter, if you have any questions, I can answer them as the pitch is lofted down the left side, kicks foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bluefish Radio at BridgeportBluefish.com. The left-handed hitting Matt Paget is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. The right-hander winds and deals. Pitch is softly struck foul to the same part of the ball yard. A ball and 2 strikes. A great crowd at the ballpark at Harbor Yard tonight to fill in for the weekend. Lots of the luxury suites being occupied. Most of the sections being filled as well. The reserve, the loge, the field box, everything seems to be Bluefish baseball's a fastball. Fastens on the outside corner, locks up the zone, and down staring is Paget 2 away. 3 strikeouts in the game. That heater clocked on the outside corner, and it had tremendous movement. 2 men retired. Matt Esquivel weighs in. The right-handed batter has not had success until today against the Bridgeport Bluefish. 2 for 2 with a double and a single. The 2-out stretch from Stark, labeled over the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike. How big of a boost would it be for Stark to get a 1-2-3 inning and for the Bridgeport Bluefish offense to get acclimated with Chris McCoy or whomever Long Island has coming out for an inning of work as the 0-1 glides off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. The trajectory of the over-the-top delivery diverts near the batter's box for Denny Stark, which is a great location. Not too many batters can reach as the 1-1. Fastens low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bluefish Radio at BridgeportBluefish.com is the website for where you can voice your comments, questions, and concerns about the Bluefish Broadcast Network, as well as any compliments or denigrations you might have about the Bluefish. The 2-1. Of course, we will not provide denigrations on the air as the 2-1 filters over the middle of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the trivia question for tonight, which member of the Long Island Ducks has the most home runs against the Bridgeport Bluefish? One of the responses was from Ann as the 2-2 fastened down the right field line. That was a screamer down the right side and skittered into the reserved section before bouncing up top to the netting and the concessionary areas. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out, 5-3 ball game. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 3 runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Stark peers in for the sign, receives it, glove held tight, rotates up, pitch, chopped up to the catcher, Luis Rodriguez. He recovers, he fires to first in time. The ball landed about halfway between Stark and Rodriguez, and Rodriguez was the first one to get there as he dropped his mask. He threw it aside and delivered a dart over to first base for Phelps to retrieve. At the end of 4.5, halfway through, the Bluefish trailing 5-3, but they're coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. Stephen Moss makes his way to the batter's box. He is followed by Josh Phelps and Luis Lopez. 3, 4, and 5 for the BBs against Chris McCoy, the right-hander who tossed an inning of shutout baseball, giving up the two of the 3 inherited runners as McCoy delivers and the curveball swings around the inside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. We mentioned about Ann trying to respond to the trivia question. Ann said that the person that has the most home runs against the Bridgeport Bluefish is Johnny Hernandez. Not the correct answer as the pitch flutters outside. 2 balls, no strikes. The next response comes from Jill. Jill says that Ray Navarrete was the guy that has the most home runs against the BBs. As a fastball misses low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Steve. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's gotten on base 25 consecutive games. Bluefish season high, the 3-0 fastball rides down Broadway. 3 balls, 1 strike. One more response. It is Jim. Jim from Trumbull as the 3-1 alters outside, ball 4. Stephen Moss's on-base streak extends to actually 27 straight games. Not 26, but 27 from the 26. He gets to first base. Josh Phelps stands in. He's already been plunked by a pitch twice. He's been tossed behind twice. You wonder if a third pitch is on its way. And he gets some indication or perhaps a signal from the shortstop, Eric Monzon, as to what to do with Josh Phelps. Maybe there is a beanball coming. Who knows? But if that happens, you perhaps will see the first brawl of the season. The first pitch is a sidestep slider that was delivered on a 3/4 angle, missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The quadrangle of the plate. You have a triangle, well, it's a pentagon plate. You separate, you put 2 lines across, you have 2 squares and 2 triangles. The 1-0 fastens between the triangles on the back end of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the triangle and the pentagon, the square is closer to the mound, and the triangle is closer to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 3 runs, 1 hit, and no mistakes. As another toss to first is not in time. Another player in the bullpen warming up for the Long Island Ducks appears to be a right-hander. Phelps, with an open stance, digs in. The next pitch is swung and lined into left field for a base hit. Runners at first and second. Moss goes for 3 as there was no throw made. Moss slides in safely. Heads up base running by Stephen Moss. Was it a bobble in left field? I'm not certain, but it's the second base hit of the game for the Bluefish. They've already scored 3 runs. Sets up Luis Lopez. I think Moss actually stopped at second and then almost pulled a delayed steal of third, as the left fielder Esquivel just took his time and was lollygagging in left field. Lopez is 0 for 1. A P7 and a walk with a run scored. Whenever you face a team like Bridgeport, you need to be on your heels all times. Moss took the extra base on that occasion. Lopez steps in. Runners going. Pitch is outside. There is no throw. It's a stolen base, the second one of the game for Josh Phelps. Already, you have 4 stolen bases against Robinson Cancel, and you wonder at what point will Robinson be able to throw a batter out or throw a runner out. The tying run 180 feet away. The 1-0 to Lopez, way outside. Chris McCoy seems to have lost it just as quickly as as the starting pitcher, Jose Diaz. A walk to Stephen Moss, a single by Josh Phelps. He's down on the count, 2 balls and no strikes to Lopez. Runners at second and third, nobody out. The rotation for McCoy lands away in the other end of the strike zone, the other quadrant, and actually landed on the very inside boundary of the left-handed hitter's batter's box. 3 balls, no strikes. Will Lopez walk for the second consecutive at-bat? The 3-0 Fastball low, ball 4. Oh, boy. The Bridgeport Bluefish walked 4 times last inning. They've picked up 2 walks in the 5th. They've walked 7 times today against Long Island pitching, and they've been hit by a pitch twice. Just 2 hits. Just 2 hits. Believe me, that's not pretty. 4, actually, was it 4 walks? I thought it was 5 walks on the resume for, actually, 5. I thought it was 5 walks on the resume for Jose Lo Diaz, but apparently it was Chris McCoy as Putnam swings and misses on a changeup that devastates to the dirt. No balls, 1 strike. The bases are chucked for Danny Putnam. He walked in his last at-bat. If you're not satisfied, just take a walk. That's what the Bluefish been doing. The 0-1 swung on and lifted to deep center field. Going back is Gathright. He's nearing the track. He's at the wall. He makes the catch at the wall. The runners from second and third both tag up. The run scores. It's a sacrifice fly RBI for the BBs. And the Bluefish have made it a 5-4 contest. Stephen Moss comes to the plate. Josh Phelps moves over to third base, and you wonder, based on the way that Robinson Cantel's throwing, if Luis Lopez might even take a shot at second base and start swiping against the catcher. But Dave LaPointe says he has seen enough. Chris McCoy is walking to the mound. He puts his arm around his relief pitcher. Maybe he's going to allow McCoy to stay in, and that's apparently what is going to unfold. There's a potential double play in the mix, but it's Victor Mercedes, and a bunt attempt would tie the game. A bunt attempt for sure would tie the game. Josh Phelps is okay speed at third base. He's stolen twice today. 5-8-2 to 4-2 and goose egg. 4 runs on 2 hits. And a fielder's choice would provide the 5th run. Mercedes steps up. He grounded into a double play yesterday as the corner infielders playing up. First baseman Padgett holding the runner on. Lopez, the next offering, spirals to the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. An inning and a third for McCoy. An inning and a third, 3 walks, 1 hit, a run scored. The Long Island Ducks bullpen has just been atrocious this season. And you try to find as many pieces to the puzzle as possible. Bill Seaman has probably been the lone member of the Ducks bullpen as the pitch is lofted foul left side, no balls, 2 strikes. You have the back end of the bullpen, which features a guy like Seamus with Major League Baseball experience. He's the pitching coach. You also have a guy like Chris McCoy, well, not Chris McCoy, but you have a guy such as the like of Kane Davis, who's been very good this year, and a guy like Ricardo Gomez out of the pen. Their starting pitching, though, has been stellar. The 0-2 on its way. Inside and nearly clipped Mercedes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If Mercedes opts to go to the opposite field, his decision will have been a wise one. He's down on the count. He needs to protect the plate. Of course, he's not going to just swing at any pitch. The 1-2 from McCoy. Stalls at the mound, holds, even set, the stretch, the offer, swung on, and grounded sharply to second. Gathering baseball and flipping second is Kevin number 1. Onto first, double play! And Mercedes grounds into the inning, 4-6 to 3 DP to retire the side. Chris McCoy wiggles his way out of a jam. The Bluefish score 1, but it's still a 5-4 ball game at the end of 5. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Unwind after a show, game, dinner, or anytime at the Blue Martini, Fairfield County's sophisticated new gathering place in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. The atmosphere is pure cosmopolitan, and the light menu is as hip as the lounge itself, featuring mouth-watering blue ravies, Bridgeport Bellows, and Angus blue sliders. And the signature martinis? Try the bartender hates you. You'll love it. Blue Martini, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free secure parking.
If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a...
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. First pitch is on its way from Denny Stark to Matt Cavagnaro in the top of the sixth inning. We mentioned about the trivia question responses. Let's get to the trivia question answer, courtesy of the Bluefish Broadcast Network. The first pitch is on its way from Denny Stark. Pitch is released, and the toss is lifted down the left field line and scurries foul in the sector between the field box seats and the loge seats, as an adult fan is able to grab the baseball. No balls, one strike. Denny Stark, 2 consecutive 1-2-3 frames for the Bluefish, as the next offering is twisted foul down the left side. No balls and 2 strikes. You would think Chris McCoy is going to move out there for his third inning of work. He has struggled today to get consistency on the mound. The Bridgeport Bluefish, they are clawing their way back. They have 7 walks, just 2 hits, 4 runs in total. The 0-2 dribbles inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the trivia question answer for the most home runs against the Bridgeport Bluefish is Javier Colina with 2. And for anyone who might have any more information in regards to that, the fastball misses off the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anyone that might have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Bluefish broadcast as well as the team, I can answer that. Bluefish Radio at BridgeportBluefish.com. PointStreak.com provides the latest scores and summaries from around Atlantic League Baseball, and tonight there are 4 games on the slab as the 2-2 is chopped slowly to second. Goblin baseball up is Mercedes. He rips the throw up the first base line, but keeping his foot on the bag long enough was Josh Phelps, one away. Cavagnaro grounds out 4-3. It springs along Eric Monzone. The scores from around the Atlantic League are such: Lancaster Barnstormers trouncing the Camden River Sharks 11-1. The Long Island Ducks and the Bridgeport Bluefish locked up in a 5-4 duel at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The York Revolution 3, the Newark Bears nothing from Bears and Eagles Riverfront Stadium. Bottom of the third inning. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs own a 1-0 edge against Somerset as the first pitch is popped up down the right side. Giving it a chase and a look is Josh Phelps. He leans over and drops the baseball. It went in and out of his glove as he was moving over the tarp. A tough play by the first baseman. It appeared as if he was going to end up with the baseball, but Eric Monzone is provided with more oxygen to breathe for a second potential life. No balls, 1 strike, 1 man out. Monzone and Joey Gathright, 9-1, due up for the Long Island Ducks. They have not scored since the third inning. The Bluefish, they are putting pressure on the team from Suffolk County, New York, as the 0-1 is driven up the middle and through to center field for a base hit. Monzone scampers to first. He'll stop at the station. He represents a stolen base threat here at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. And let me explain further. Monzon may not be a great hitter. He's at 270, which is okay, but he has 13 stolen bases in 15 attempts. Joey Gathright moves in to his workspace. Let's drift to ESPN.com to prepare the individuals for what is to be expected NFL scores, as well as the movement from the Barclays, which Tiger Woods has been taken out of contention. The one-out toss is whiffed. A changeup or a curveball that dove inside. No balls in one strike. WNBA playoff action, soccer action, and NFL action as well. Major League Baseball is the obvious, and the soccer action includes teams from overseas that many might be interested in, including Manchester United, Chelsea, and Arsenal, as the 0-1 is a heater outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. And finally, some of the news from around the world of sports, including the Hawks' Jamal Crawford, as well as Nationals more about Niger Morgan. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man out. 5-4 your score. Gathright leans over the plate, but the pitch settled low. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the Little League World Series. The United States believe the count is they've won 6 consecutive World Series in the Little League realm. Can it make it 7 in a row? We'll have to wait and find out, because the matchup we'll mention in a moment is Phelps tags, but did not get it applied in time. Joey Gathright gets back. He's 0 for 3 today. Eric Monzon gets back. Gathright 0 for 3. But Hawaii is going to take on Japan. Chinese Taipei put up a good fight as another throw over, not in time. And Hawaii cruised, and Japan had a very tight matchup against Chinese Taipei. I believe that was in the extra inning affair. You might see Hawaii take out Japan this year, but the Japanese teams tend to be very, very good. As the 2-1 floats over the outside corner, and Luis Rodriguez got out of his stance to maybe attempt to throw down to first base. Gathright has the count level. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man out. The ballpark at Harbor Yard is stuffed with fans tonight as the Bluefish encounter one of the bigger crowds of the season. 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, grounded to first. Gobbling up on the backhand is Phelps. He steps on the bag as he scampered there. 2-away. Josh Phelps maneuvered a couple of steps forward and a touch or two to his left, and was able to grab the baseball on the backhand before making the play. 2-away. And Springsville and Javier Colina. 3 unassisted. Besides the big at bat that unfolded with Denny Stark, I would mark this as a critical situation in a baseball game, not in a medical sense. 2 outs, fastball, drains high, 1 ball, no strikes. Because you have a runner at second base. It's a 5-4 contest. That insurance run could prove huge with the way that the Bluefish have been working their way into the game again after suffering so early in the contest. 5 runs in the first 3 innings. It was 5-0 at one point. The 1-0 scampers to the outside corner, levels at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. The wind beginning to pick up pace. A slightly more intense breeze. 325 down the left field line. 365 to the gaps. 405 to dead center field. About 20-foot foul pole, the 1-1, grounded sharply into the Long Island Ducks dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Were the couple of pitches that Joselo Diaz tossed inside to Josh Phelps intentional? We won't know. But based on the information provided in this game, you would think the second one that he plunked Josh Phelps in the back with was intended for that purpose. First one, could not get that feeling. Second one, there was a warning. And the umpires did not want to get anybody ejected. They wanted to keep control, maintain composure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Denny Stark delivers, and the pitch is launched down the right field line, a ball and 2 strikes. Denny Stark's pitch count well into the 100s at this juncture. The Bluefish hope to get a 6th inning, maybe even a 7th inning out of Stark. And maybe by that point, the Bluefish will have taken the lead. He will have eaten up his innings, leading to the back end of the bullpen. The 1-2, dribbled foul. Staying alive is Javier Colina. He is 0 for 3 tonight after reaching base 5 consecutive times last night. 2 walks, 2 singles, and a double. Will Denny Stark be able to complete the 6th inning unscathed? A runner at second base. He's already been touched up for 5 runs, but he settled down last 2 2/3. The offer is slugged down the right field line, but scorched foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The picnic area has shifted. The attendance from the people that had picnics today has shifted over to the ball field. Every member of the Long Island Ducks up on the top step of the dugout, the Bluefish just relaxing for the time being, allowing Denny Stark to work. The 1-2 on its way. Skitters to the dirt and by Rodriguez. Advancing over to third base is Eric Monzon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Believe that scampered to the dirt. It was a wild pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 5-4. Your score. 9 hits to 2. 2 errors by the Ducks. But every run to this point has been earned. The 2-2 from Stark. High leg drive pitch. Swung and laced to third, but handled by Lopez to retire the side. That was a good piece of hitting by Colina, but Lopez was stationed perfectly to snare the baseball. A runner stranded in scoring position at third base with 2 outs. The Bluefish trailing by a run heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Stay tuned. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Kyle Jackson, the former member of the Bridgeport Bluefish, makes his way to the mound for the Long Island Ducks. Kyle Jackson, this season, has an ERA of 6.16, 3-9 record, and 111 innings, .309 opponent's batting average against the right-hander. But the pitcher is 1-2 with a 5.60 with the Ducks in 53 innings tossed. Opponents hitting .292 against Jackson when he has participated in Long Island. The stretch in the offer from Jackson sails inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson has been able to reach into the low 90s this year. His problem is he has a four-seam fastball that if it stays higher than usual, the 1-0 is socked into deep center field. Joey Gathright moves back. He has a beat on it and makes the call, and the catch out number 1 has been provided. If he gets his four-seam fastball up, it can be lit up. And that's what the Bluefish saw earlier in the season as the F8 has been provided. Brandon Chavez steps up to the batter's box. Chavez is 0 for 2. 6-3 and a fielder's choice 6-4. He's 0 for 2 tonight. His batting average seems to be slipping after the 18-game hitting streak was snapped a couple of nights ago. The 1-out toss serves over the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Fastball, curve, and change from Jackson. The 0-1. Close stance, lifts his front leg and drives outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The left side of the infield, third baseman Colina playing at the lip of the infield grass. The shortstop is Monzone. He's directed way back at short. He's at the lip of the outfield grass. The 1-1 is lofted down the left side and shoots into the reserved section. It was dropped by a fan that did not have a glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The second baseman, Matt Cavagnero, playing at the lip of the outfield grass. Matt Padgett about halfway on the first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chavez. Adam Greenberg weighs on deck. The 1-2 is slowly tapped down the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. ESPN.com provides the latest scores and summaries from around the world of sports. Let's go to the soccer scores. Arsenal edges Blackburn 2-1 in soccer. Fulham and Blackpool tie at 2. Chelsea 2, Stoke 0 in that contest. The pitch is grounded through the right side for a base hit. A high breaking ball that Chavez was able to exploit. He earns a single. It establishes Adam Greenberg up the plate, and you know that with Robinson Cancel behind the dish, they might be able to get a big jump off of Cancel. Finally, Wigan defeats Tottenham 1-0. Newcastle and the Wolves tied at 1. Man U 3 and West Ham 0. The scores from soccer. Meanwhile, in the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury blast the San Antonio Silver Stars. The pitch is smacked down the left side and shoots foul in the low section. No balls and 1 strike. Phoenix 92-73 over the Silver Stars. Seattle Storm 81. Los Angeles Sparks 66 from Staples. Your final in playoff action. Golf at the Barclays in just a moment as the 0-1 is about to be released from Kyle Jackson. Drops the glove from the chest to the belt. The offering is slapped the other way down the left field line. Esquivel has room and makes the call on the catch in the corner. Tagging, but faking is Brandon Chavez 2 away. And F7 on the score sheet to establish Tyke Redmond's presence. Will Brandon Chavez steal second base and then allow Redmond to maybe allow the tying run to score on a single? We'll have to wait and find out. Martin Laird, 12 under par, 6 under on the day. He leads the pack. Jason Day and Dustin Johnson are tied for second place, 9 under par. Adam Scott at 8 under. Vaughn Taylor, 7 under. As the pitch out, nothing doing. 1 ball, no strikes. Adam Scott is at 8 under. Vaughn Taylor, 7 under, along with Matt Kuchar, Ryan Palmer, and John Senden, all at 7 under, tied for 5th place in the standings. NFL scores in the preseason we'll get to in a moment. The 1-0 floats low, 2 balls and no strikes. Detroit 35, Cleveland 27, the final from Ford Field. Buffalo 21, Cincinnati 14, just starting the second half from Orchard Park. Jacksonville 3, Tampa Bay 3 at the end of 1 as the fastball hits the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Baltimore Ravens edging the New York Giants 3-0. Start of the second quarter. Seattle and Minnesota tied at zeros from the Metrodome. 13:37 remaining in the opening quarter. 2-1 to Redmond. Scampers outside. He jumps up and down. 3 balls. Oh! Apparently it's a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That did not appear to be a strike. Now it's being corrected. 3 balls and 1 strike. That's what I thought. Redmond was jumping up and down as a throw over to check on Chavez is not in time. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Seattle, Minnesota, goose eggs. Carolina, Tennessee, goose eggs. 10 and change remaining in the opening quarter as we pull up the NFL scores again. Dallas and Houston just underway from Houston, Texas. The 3-1 again is tossed over to first. Arizona and Chicago, 8:30 tonight. And then San Francisco, Oakland at 9 o'clock tonight. The rest of the final scores are as follows. Philadelphia Eagles 20, Kansas City Chiefs 17, New Orleans 36-21 winner against San Diego, Atlanta 16, Miami 6. The 3-1 runner goes, pitch is swung on and driven deep right field. No chance. It is gone. A 2-run shot by Tyke Redmond, and the Bluefish have their first lead. It's 6-5 BBs. Tyke Redmond having a breakout for the Bridgeport Bluefish, his first home run as a member of the BBs. That was a towering line drive to right field that smacked off the second wall. There was no doubt about it from my view, and it had no chance of staying in the ballpark according to John Rodriguez. 6 consecutive runs scored after the Long Island Ducks put 5 across in the second and the third, combined 6-5. Jackson delivers and Moss strays from the pitch. It's a fastball that guides across the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Some of the quackers you could hear in the background is the 0-1 from Jackson, a curveball that slips high, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that was the problem. You leave a fastball up, a breaking ball, further upstairs, somebody's going to take charge. The Bluefish finally make the full comeback as the 1-1 dices over the inside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. Redmond's first home run, RBI number 17 on the year, the 1-2. Stays away from the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch diverted away from the arm slot where it was over the top to about 4 or 5 inches off the plate. The 2-2 from Jackson swung on and pulled to the third base side and kicks off one of the fans. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The rest of the scores. Washington 16, New York Jets 11, the Green Bay Packers 59, Indianapolis 24, St. Louis 36, New England 35, Pittsburgh and Denver tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. The 2-2 to Moss. Floats outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Phelps is on deck. Only 4 base hits for the Bridgeport Bluefish. 6 runs on the board, though. And the big inning, the 3 spot, which gathered momentum for the Bluefish. And yes, they only scored 1 run against Chris McCoy, but 2 in this frame on the 2-run shot as Moss takes ball 4. Fastball pinched inside. The second straight pass to Stephen Moss. Coordinating his work in the batter's box is Josh Phelps. He clears a space in the batter's box, a couple of lines, a perpendicular line, one across the back of the right-handed hitter's batter's box, and a line that zooms out towards center. 2 outs. Phelps stays in. The 2-out pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled to the screen. Moss had that base stolen too. They are taking off against Robinson Cancel. I do not know if there is an issue with Cancel, whether or not the Bridgeport Bluefish have secretive information that about Cancel and his throw. The 0-1 from Jackson, slide step, apply the 0-1, a check swing that cleared the zone, no balls and 2 strikes. Phelps has been hit by a pitch twice and singled. A run scored on his platter as well. No balls, 2 strikes. The throw to first base is not in time. Jackson checking. It has been an uphill battle the entire time for the Bridgeport Bluefish. But they've climbed the mountain and see the finish line. The 0-2 scampers away into the dirt. And going over to second base is Stephen Moss on a wild pitch. Brandon Chavez singled with 1 out. With 2 outs, Tyke Redmond scalded a 2-run shot over the right field wall. 6-5. This has been a roller coaster game. The Major League Baseball scores are coming up in the top of the 7th as the curveball dwindles outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It is not that Kyle Jackson does not have the fastball or the velocity to be in this league, but his confidence has to be shot after that offering from Redmond. The 2-2 glances off the outside corner. It had eyes for the outside edge, but cleared from that spot. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Phelps stands in tall. Right-hander drops the glove down to the belt. The payoff swung on and lined into left field for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Stephen Moss. There is no throw. It's an RBI single by Josh Phelps. And the Bluefish extend the lead. It's 7-5. You can hear the background noise from the fans of the Bridgeport Bluefish. This team believes that it can come back from anything. Their largest comeback from a deficit this season was 4 runs. The Long Island bullpen getting ready again. Denny Stark has battled through 6 innings. It appears as if he will go through 7. There is no Bluefish pitcher warming up in the bullpen. This has been a great night for the BBs to come back. 7 runs on 5 hits. Lopez steps in and puts a popping one down the left side. Giving chase is Cancel, but the ball flutters into the stands. No balls, 1 strike. 2 men out. 7-5 ball game. 7 runs, 5 hits to 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The Bridgeport Bluefish looking to go 20 games above 500. That would be their high watermark. They've already accomplished that with a 19 game above 500. The runner goes, the pitch is outside again, and another stolen base. This has to be ridiculous. Josh Phelps just took another base. That's his 3rd stolen base of the game, and I believe the season high for the Bluefish is 6. I believe they've already hit that mark. The 1-1 from Jackson is slashed down the right field line. Kicks out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. What is wrong with Cancel? There has to be something that the Bluefish know about Robinson Cancel and his injury. Nothing else could be possible. The 1-2 from Jackson swung on and laced foul to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luis Lopez, 0 for 1 with 2 walks. You want to know how many times the Bluefish have walked? They've walked 8 times today. The 1-2 lifted high in the air to shallow right center field. Moving over, having room, and making the catch is John Rodriguez for the final out of the inning. The Bridgeport Bluefish come up with another crooked number, this time against Kyle Jackson. It's a 7-5 ball game. The Bluefish have their first lead of the contest. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. The Bluefish have a 7-5 lead. 7 runs, 5 hits to 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The Bridgeport Bluefish have come back from a large deficit in the contest. The game began at 6:08. We're at 8:23 in the top of the 7th inning, and for that, it is a new pitcher, Chris Rivera. Denny Stark survived a beatdown in 2 innings. To give up 5 runs in 6 frames, he stands to win the contest. First pitch from Rivera slides outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Sometimes my words get mumbled and jumbled. 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 9 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, but he recovered to allow the Bluefish to get back in the game. The 1-0 is lined into right field, charging over, and then backing up to make the grab on the backhand is Tyke Redmond for out number 1. An L9 on your score sheet to John Rodriguez. He is 2 out of 4. Robinson Cancel steps up. The scores from around Major League Baseball tonight. St. Louis and Washington tied at 5 from the nation's capital, top of the 5th inning with runners at first and second. Cincinnati trails the Chicago Cubs 3-1 top of the 5th. The first pitch is a fastball that rifles over the middle of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th from U.S. Cellular Field. The Yankees 6, the White Sox 5. Bottom of the 4th with a runner at first. Pitch swerves outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland 3, Kansas City nothing from Progressive Field in Ohio. Top of the 5th inning. Houston a 4-0 lead at Citi Field. Top of the 5th as the next offering is swung on and golfed into center field. Charging over and hauling it in is Adam Greenberg for out number 2 and F8 on the score sheet to establish Willis Otañez. Boston leads Tampa Bay 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th with a runner at first. If Boston wins, they would move to within 3.5 of Tampa Bay for the wild card under the assumption that the New York Yankees would win the game. If the Yankees don't win, then they would be 3.5 behind both the Rays and the Yankees for the division and the wild card spots. 2 outs. Otañez steps up, the fastball directs outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Pittsburgh 6, Milwaukee 3, bottom of the 3rd inning from Miller Park. Atlanta trouncing Florida 8-0, end of the 3rd now. Texas trails Oakland 1-0, top of the 2nd from Arlington as a pitch as a Baltimore chopped to short. Gathering the baseball and firing across in time is Brandon Chavez for the final out of the inning. 7th inning stretch time from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. No runs come across. The side retired for the Ducks. It is 7-5, Bluefish on top. You're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Unwind after a show, game, dinner, or anytime at the Blue Martini, Fairfield County's sophisticated new gathering place in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. The atmosphere is pure cosmopolitan, and the light menu is as hip as the lounge itself, featuring mouth-watering blue ravies, Bridgeport Bellows, and Angus Blue sliders. And the signature martinis? Try the Bartender Hates You. You'll love it. Blue Martini, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free secure parking.
If you want your baked goods delivered fresh daily, then MRS Baking has it all. With thousands of different dessert and breakfast items, you're sure to find your favorites. You can munch on brownies, cheesecakes, and cupcakes. Yummy! Located in College Point, New York, MRS Baking is the one stop for all your baking needs. For more information, dial 718-460-6700. Once again, the number is 718-460-6700. MRS Baking, the one stop for all of your baking needs.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Kyle Jackson's night is over. An inning pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 32 pitches, 19 of them going for strikes. There is a new right-handed tosser for the Long Island Ducks. It is number 36, Chris Sperling, 6'5", 230 pounds, out of Nashville, Tennessee, born in 1977, which makes him 33 years of age. He has reached as high as the Major League ranks, and his last team was with the Newark Bears of this league, the Atlantic League. And Danny Putnam makes his way to the batter's box, followed by Victor Mercedes and Louis Rodriguez, 6, 7, and 8 in the order for the Bridgeport Bluefish. They lead by a count of 7-5 and hope to put across some more runs. First pitch from Sperling is a fastball that details outside, 1 ball, no strikes. We gave you the Major League scoring updates for some of the games, but not all of them. And we'll provide the rest of them to you in a moment. We were at the Arlington game, 1-0 in bottom of the second, as the pitch is scalded foul to the top, hits the facade, and may have actually been grabbed in the upper deck by some fans in the luxury suite section. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oakland 1, Texas 0, bottom of the second with a runner at second. LA Dodgers and Colorado Rockies tied at Goose Eggs. Toronto holds on for the 5-4 victory against the Detroit Tigers. Minnesota blank Seattle 1-0. Philadelphia with its second straight win against San Diego. 3-1 your score, the 1-1. Scalds high, a heater, 2 balls, 1 strike. Baltimore Orioles and Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim scheduled for a 9:05 first pitch. Arizona Diamondbacks and San Francisco Giants also scheduled for that same time first toss from the Giants starter tonight. Putnam swings and misses over an off-speed delivery, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Manny Ramirez out of the Dodgers lineup for the 3rd day in a row. There was a source indicating that Chicago White Sox had picked him up off of waivers. That was not true, as it appears as if that did not happen. 2-2 on its way from Sperling. Tightly coils the inside, but misses the corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hawaii takes on Japan. Niger Morgan heckled before toss, fan says. And then, of course, Pujols is honored for charitable work at the D.C. rally, which he was at today. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down, hacking is Putnam, 1 away. Putnam is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a sacrifice fly, a walk, a run scored, and a hop fly foul out down the left field line. 1 away. Springs along Victor Mercedes. Finally, the triple bogey takes bite out of Tiger. In other words, Tiger Woods is no longer in contention to win the tournament, as the 1-out pitch is an inside-out swing that's fisted out of play behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike. The post-game shows coming up following the conclusion of the ball game between the Bridgeport Bluefish and the Long Island Ducks. Summaries from across the Atlantic League, as well as the Major League scores and the statistical analysis. As always, the 0-1 is Sky to shallow left center. Backing up is the shortstop. He's called off by both Gathright and Esquivel. Gathright makes the catch as Esquivel jumped out of his way. 2 retired. A P8 on your score sheet. And it establishes Louis Rodriguez. Machete won the only, or was part of the team that won the only Atlantic League championship for the Long Island Ducks. That was in 2004. At the time, he was a backup. He's worked his way into a starting role. He's been a prominent signal caller for the Bluefish as the first offer is whacked at for a strike, no balls, or one punch. And the problem for everybody this season seems to be the ability for teams to take out Southern Maryland. Bridgeport Bluefish have done the same. They have not had a very good ability to do so. The 0-1 is plucked foul behind home plate, no balls and 2 strikes. But Southern Maryland is in a little bit of a slide right now, and the Bluefish taking full advantage of it. They cannot lose, except when it comes down to Southern Maryland. Southern Maryland's beaten the Bluefish down a little bit. 7-10 record for the Bluefish against Southern Maryland this season as the fastball spikes away, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nearly grazed the corner. But you could make the argument that the top 3 teams in all of the Atlantic League are in the Liberty Division. Of course, I don't believe that. I don't believe Long Island belongs in that conversation. Southern Maryland, Bridgeport, in my opinion, Bridgeport's 1 and Southern Maryland's 2. The pitch is lined into right field, not deep. Charging towards the chalk and making the catch is Rodriguez for the final out of the inning. We'll come up with the Atlantic League resumes as well as the power rankings coming up. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. The Bluefish retired 1-2-3. It's a 7-5 ball game in favor of the home team.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. It is Antonio Alfonseca, right-handed pitcher, an ERA of 4.01 on the year. 2-3 record, 52 games, 58 and a third innings, 26 earned runs, 33 total runs provided. Hitters only collecting a 245 average against Antonio, and last night Antonio was effective in his inning of work. He's going for the second straight time. He and Chris Rivera are on the verge of breaking the appearances record set by none other than Mike Guilfoyle out of the bullpen, 57 games. That was slated back way back in the day. To be precise, that was in 2003. Chris Rivera made his 54th appearance. Antonio Alfonseca, this is his 52nd appearance of the season, actually 53rd appearance of the year. So Rivera, he made his 54th appearance, and Antonio Alfonseca was his 53rd. They're both on pace to break Mike Guilfoyle's appearances records. The first pitch is on its way from the left-handed bat, from the right-handed arm of Antonio to Matt Padgett, who is 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a strikeout. First delivery paints the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Antonio Alfonseca has a fastball, a slider, a breaking ball as well. The 0-1 from Antonio glides high, pitch on its way, swung on and driven down the right field line, but it pulls foul. No balls, 2 strikes. This is the fairest ballpark in the Atlantic League. And the reason I say that, look at the number of home runs that have been hit by the opposition as opposed to what has been accomplished on the road. 25 home runs hit at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Southern Maryland has not cared where they've hit the home runs, but 25 of the 83 homers have been provided at the ballpark at Harbor Yard for the opposition. As the next offering swung on and missed, strike 3. The throw comes to first base to convert the out. Padgett slowly walks back to the dugout, 1 away, as it sets up Matt Esquivel. And to give you precise measure, the Bridgeport Bluefish have hit 32 of the 99 home runs at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Only about a third, which means the road has been very friendly for the Bluefish on offense. That wasn't the case this season early, as the 1-out toss sways way high and tightly coiled around the armpits of the right-hand batter Esquivel. 1 ball, no strikes. He's 2 for 3 today, a double and a single. Runs scored. He has a couple of RBI as well. The 1-0 from Antonio Alfonseca fouled right off the foot of Esquivel, and he is limbering over in a little bit of pain. He's holding his face with his arm, or at least his fist, and holding the fist with his bat to try to use it as a stand to keep himself up. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Bluefish post-game show is coming up following the conclusion of the ball game. It is the top of the 8th inning. 7-5 your score, 7 runs on 5 base hits, 5 runs on 9 base hits. If the Bluefish do not pick up another hit, this would be the second straight game where the Bluefish earned 5 or fewer hits and won the game. The 1-1 from Seca lands foul behind home plate above the netting, a ball and 2 strikes. The net is not as high at this ballpark as it is in, let's say, Newark or anywhere else. You wonder why, but pretty much everyone behind the netting is protected unless it's a high pop-up that does not travel far. The 1-2 is backed off the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. The Bridgeport Bluefish have the finale tomorrow, 2:05 afternoon start, and maybe if they win today, they'll go for the sweep. 2-2 beckons low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Antonio Alfonseca will have to face Matt Cavagnero next. Esquivel, 2 out of 3, double and a single. Cavagnero, 1 out of 3. Problem for the Ducks, their pitching has just been dreadful. The 3-2 is skied in the air down the right field line, kicks foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Joselo Diaz did not give much confidence. And you wonder if Joselo continued to pitch, whether he would have been able to get out of the jam. But the fact is, Joselo Diaz, very good pitcher, he did not have any control today. The 3-2 from Seca swung on and bounced to the left side, grabbed by a fan on the Baltimore chop. He raises his hands in victory and decides that he's going to keep the souvenir and give it, I believe, to his son, who's looking for the baseball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man out. 7-5 ball game, 7 runs, 5 hits to 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Alfonseca leans in for the side glove, held tightly around his stomach. The 3-2 swung on and driven down the left field line, but it is a foul ball. There's not much room down the left field line once you drag into the corner, but the Bridgeport Bluefish fortunate it actually hit the bench. It hit the bench on the left side of the chalk. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Is Seca going to enhance the strike zone a bit? Will he enforce the usage of a breaking ball as opposed to the fastball? It is a payoff, but he's a major league pitcher. He's used pitches in unpredictable counts. A guy like him, extraordinarily intelligent at the mound. 3-2 on its way from Seca, popped up to the middle of the outfield. Greenberg shifting to the left of center as Ruman makes the catch. To the left of the 405 sign. 2 retired on the F8. Matt Cavagnaro moves in. This has been a never-ending run for the Bridgeport Bluefish. They moved above 500 against the Liberty Division last night. They're hoping to move 2 games over after tonight. And maybe if they do not have too many more games left against the Liberty Division. They don't have any more against Camden. Although they pummeled Camden in the last 5 games. The changeup dips to the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Last 5 games and the last 5 at Campbell's Field in particular. Think about it, what the Bluefish were doing. 1-0. Lifted high and not deep to right field. Redmond scampers over and smothers the baseball with the glove for the final out of the inning. About halfway between the first base bag and the right field line near the foul pole. End of 7.5. The Bluefish still lead 7-5. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Bridgeport Bluefish group outings are a grand slam. Bring your friends, family, or company out to the ballpark at Harbor Yard for a night of family entertainment and non-stop action. The ballpark at Harbor Yard has great areas for groups and birthday parties of any size. Socialize in the open-air marina picnic deck with up to 350 of your best friends or hungriest coworkers, and try the all-you-can-eat buffet, the best deal in town. With your choice of ribs, burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, pasta salad, dessert, and much more, you're guaranteed to leave the ballpark stuffed. Looking for a cozier atmosphere? How about our luxury and party suites with made-to-order food and beverage options, climate control, and your own personal server? Prefer the best seat in the house? Then book a group of 20 or more at our special discounted rates anywhere in the ballpark. Call 203-345-4800 to reserve your Bluefish group outing today. That's 203-345-4800.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. Number 36, Chris Sperling, still in the game as the Bridgeport Bluefish continue to peg down the number of innings that they've provided, peg down the number of strikes they need in order to convert this into a victory, the 70th of the season. They have already passed their win total from a season ago, which was at 65 and 75. And the Bridgeport Bluefish, by the way, they still have a plethora of games remaining as they hope to win number 70 tonight. The first pitch is a rocket over the middle, no balls and 1 strike. They're 70. They could be 70 and 50 after tonight. They have 20 remaining. They could get. They might even be able to get 85 the way that they're motoring along as the 0-1 drifts inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Southern Maryland also has a chance to get to 85 wins as well. The 1-1 from Sperling, line like a bullet down the right field line. It rolls down into the corner, fair ball. Chavez rounds first. He's going for second. He stops at second. It looked like he might have had an opportunity to go for 3, but why take the chance in eliminating another potential insurance run? Chavez rounds into form with a leadoff double to start off the 8th inning, and you would suspect that Adam Greenberg is up to bunt as Sperling provided a pitch that Chavez could jump on over the middle of the plate. 7 runs on 6 base hits. At one point it was 3 runs on 1 base hit and 4 on 2, 5 on 3. Number of hits continuing to match the runs scored, and the Bluefish have just gotten on base every time. They have worn out Long Island pitching in terms of the walks. First pitch from Sperling, glances at second, holds. Greenberg lays the bunt, and the bunt is lifted down the third base side, no play. Chavez rounds third. He motors around third and fakes going home. It's a bunt single by Greenberg. That was poor execution. Chris Sperling threw the baseball. The ball was halfway divided between the third base side and the pitcher. Once it got by the mound, as the third baseman was going back towards the bag, no chance to get it. And now, nobody out. 7-5 score, runners at the corners. And it looks like Long Island is conceding the 8th run. Greenberg fakes, and so did Chavez. If Greenberg got himself stuck in a pickle, he would have tried to get Chavez home. Nobody out. Runners at the corners. Greenberg's probably going to take off, you would assume, against the catcher in Cancels. The first pitch ropes the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Who do you want to deal with? A guy that just hit a 2-run homer last at bat, or a guy that's been the best hitter in the Atlantic League, or one of the best hitters in the Atlantic League the entire season? That's a poison that Chris Sperling has to choose, but he's not going to opt for any of that right away as he fakes the third and fakes the first. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. 7-5 your score. Sperling throws over to first base and nearly caught Greeny. Boy, Greenberg better be careful. I know he wants to steal. Everybody knows he wants to steal. He has one tonight. But be very careful. The 0-1 from the right-hander swung on and chopped to third, gathering baseball and flipping second, 1. On to first, double play, but a run scores. And that's all the Bluefish needed. They don't care about the RBI. They just care about the run coming across. And so Tyke Redmond grounds into the double play ball, 6-4-3. DP. It played Chavez. The Bluefish increased the lead. It's now 8-5. Once it got to first and third on the bunt single, runner at third base with less than 2 out, chance of that runner scoring so great. And then with a runner at third base with nobody out, forget about it. Even a double play ball can't help you as Moss swings and misses for a strike. No RBI on the play from Tyke Redmond. No balls, 1 strike, 2 men out. 8-5 the score. 8 runs on 7 base hits. A curveball distributed for Sperling. No balls, 2 strikes. Sperling, 2 hits, 1 run allowed in an inning and 2/3. Just been a dreadful day for most of the pitching staff of the Long Island Ducks. They just 8 walks from the staff. The 0-2. Curveball swung on and driven to deep right center field, but backing up and on the move is Joey Gathright. He makes the call and dropped the baseball. He dropped the baseball. Moss rounding second. He's going for 3, and there's no throw. Oh, boy. And now there is some major conjecture between some of the infielders who are claiming that Joey Gathright made the catch and that it was not on the transfer. Timeout being called. Dave LaPointe trying to argue the point with the first base umpire in tonight's ballgame, Brett Brewington. Dave LaPointe trying to get his point across. Boy, every Long Island Duck member was infuriated by that. It looked like Stephen Moss was going to fly out to right center field, but instead it's a big E8 at this time. The 3rd error by the Long Island Ducks, and the Ducks cannot believe it. Brett Brewington, apparently the call was made saying that there was no transfer, no drop on the transfer throw, if you will, and the Ducks trying to plead their case that they most likely will not win it, but this has just been a brutal night for the Ducks. They're trying to find something to gather momentum for tomorrow, and this might be one of the points to try to go on. They might have been slighted on this play, but they've been beamed by the Bluefish all the time, and that results in the ejection of Dave LaPointe. Dave LaPointe had enough. The first base umpire allowed him to argue the point, but eventually you have to move the game forward, and Dave LaPointe is irate. he is continuing to show his frustration towards the first base umpire, and that is all she wrote. The rest of the defensive players pleading their case as well. One of them might get tossed as well, and now the right fielder gets tossed. John Rodriguez has gotten tossed, and officially 2 people have gotten tossed. Dave LaPointe and John Rodriguez both got tossed for opening up their yaps a little bit much. Brett Brewington allowed them a certain amount of wiggle room, and now Joey Gathright making his case. Gathright has to be held back by one of his teammates. Was it John Rodriguez that got thrown out? I believe it was John Rodriguez, but apparently it is Joey Gathright arguing the point. Gathright, and he just threw his gum, I believe, out on the field. John Rodriguez and Dave LaPointe both ejected from the ball game. Billy Kovac moves into center field, and the Bridgeport Bluefish faithful giving both of them a standing ovation as they make their way into the clubhouse right before the ball game comes to its conclusion. Stephen Moss lands at third base, and that was a long delay. And E8, which Joey Gathright got ejected for, as did his manager, both pleading the case that, hey, he only bobbled the ball once he had firm control, and on the transfer he fired it. But there is only so much time that an umpire is going to allow somebody to object to the call, and both of them are heading to the showers early. 2 outs. Phelps up the plate. The first pitch lines with the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Every run from here on out is unearned. Josh Phelps, 2 for 2. 2 hit by pitches and 2 singles as the fastball's rocked by his bat. No balls, 2 strikes. The Long Island Ducks present Eric Monzon. Billy Kovac is replacing Joey Gathright. And Javier Colina, the 0-2 to Phelps. Punched foul down the right side. No balls and 2 strikes. The Bluefish trailed 5-0 and scored 8 runs in the last 5 frames. Nothing more needs to be talked about. The 0-2 from Sperling in there for a called strike 3. Dove across the outside corner. Phelps down staring to retire the side. The Bluefish add an insurance run on a double play ball from Tyke Redmond with runners at the corners and nobody out. End of 8 innings. The score, 8-5 Bluefish. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have spun the turnstiles at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Supporting their local team and Fairfield County's local businesses sponsoring the Bluefish is just the right thing to take your business in the direction you want. The proof is in the numbers. More than 70% of Bluefish partners renew their sponsorships annually, and the best part is there are tons of ways to get involved. Billboards, in-game promotions, giveaways, Fish Vision video board ads, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. To join the Bluefish team now, call any of our front office sales representatives at 203-345-4800 for more information.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for 2 for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking. A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, zesty tequila lime salmon, juicy pork chops Milanese. Getting hungry? Your table is ready at the all-new Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience, including the complete price-fixed dinner for 2 for $39.90. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn, I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Free, secure parking.
For centuries, cold beer has remained hidden behind refrigerated doors, hidden within cardboard walls amongst bottles and cans. Cold beer has remained hidden for far too long. Not anymore. Introducing the new Coors Light Cold Activation Window. Now you can see if your beer is cold before you buy it. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility. For centuries,
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand, Jorge Julio in the game, hoping to lock down and lead the Atlantic League in saves in the process as the fastball runs upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. This season, Jorge Julio, a 1.29 ERA, no wins, 1 loss, 24 saves, 49 games, 48 and 2/3 innings. The 1-0 drifts over the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. 48 and 2/3, opponents hitting 199 against the right-hander. 48 and 2/3 innings, 52 strikeouts on the year. The 1-1, check swing. Did it go through the zone? The appeal? No, says the first base umpire. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eric Monzon. He's followed by Billy Kovac and Javier Colina. 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Both Joey Gathright and the manager Dave LaPointe were ejected after a call that was questionable. The 2-1 is popped up to the right side. Phelps settles underneath near the lip of the outfield grass. He's called up by Mercedes. He backs up and snatches for out number 1. A P4 on the score sheet to spring along Billy Kovac. 5-0. Your score after 3. The Ducks with the lead. The Bluefish scored 8 runs in the final 5 innings. This Bluefish offense is incredible. They don't need hits. They could do it on walks, hit by pitches. They've proven that today as the fastball elevated. 1 ball, no strikes. The post-game show coming up right after the conclusion of the ball game. It appears as if the Bluefish are going to win their 4th straight contest. The 1-0 from Julio. Spanks low, 2 balls and no strikes. 1 man out. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Ducks. 8 runs, 7 base hits, no errors for the Bluefish. These umpires are neutral. But there were a couple of controversial plays today. Bluefish got the breaks. Long Island got them early as the 2-0 delivered on the inside corner. Cut fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Like I mentioned, post-game show coming up following conclusion of the ball game. Scores and analysis from around this contest as well as the rest of the Atlantic League is the 2-1. A check swing. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire. And Andrew Vincent. 3 balls, 1 strike. The hitter in the box is Billy Kovac. This season, not hitting very well, which is why he's found himself on the bench. 217 with only 9 RBI, no home runs to boot. Left-handed batter with scratchy ability as the pitch winds up outside, ball 4. Taking his base is Kovac with 1 away. Sets up Javier Colina. But all in all, the Bridgeport Bluefish had outstanding pitching over the last 5 1/3 frames. It all began with Denny Stark throwing 6 frames of 5-run baseball. Yes, 5 runs in the first, 5 runs in a 2-inning span. But he maintained his poise, and the Bluefish put up enough runs on the board to make everyone in this stadium happy. The ballpark at Harbor Yard, Central Coast of Connecticut, Bridgeport in the state. 1 out. Julio fires. Fastball squeezes the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. An 8-5 ball game. 8 runs, 7 hits, 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. Julio kicks, pitch, swung on and chopped up the middle. Gathering is Chavez. He flips the second one onto first. Not in time. A great snare up the middle by Chavez to get the speedy Kovac at second base. It was close play. Kovac is eliminated by Javier Colina safe. Fielder's choice 6-4. Colina safe at first. The tying run is on deck, but John Rodriguez enters his workspace. The Ducks down to the final out. If the Bluefish win, the magic number, which is the number of wins combined with the number of Ducks losses to clinch a playoff spot for the Bluefish, would dwindle to 13. And by the way, the Bluefish can clinch next weekend in Long Island if everything goes according to what the Bluefish hope for, as the 1-0, well, the curveball drives outside, 1 ball, no strikes, which would mean they could essentially get many of their players some rest and try a couple of different entities. The 1-0 is slapped to left field and deep. Going back is Moss. He's nearing the track. He's at the wall. He leaps and makes the catch. Or did he make the catch? No, he stopped it from going out of the yard. It looked like he made the catch to end the game, but instead he leapt and kept it from going out of the yard. Oh boy. It is that difficult to see out in left field. And runners at second and third. I believe that's a double from John Rodriguez. Robinson Cancel represents the tying run at home plate. Oh boy. It looked like Stephen Moss had a chance to get it. He leapt, and the ball, I don't know where it landed, but the rally extends. One batter further. Julio, in frustration, uses his cleats to swipe across a little bit of dirt. The full windup and tilt from Julio dips low. 1 ball, no strikes. Robinson Cancel, 1 for 4. John Rodriguez, 3 for 4. Rodriguez at third base. Colina was held at, Rodriguez at second base. Colina was held at third as the off-speed pitch delves across the outside corner, pins it at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Julio, quick worker, nods his head up and down for the sign. Full line, the 1-1. Scampers across the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. 1 strike away from ending the ball game, and the Bluefish moving to 20 games above 500 and 34-16 in the first half, which is a magical run for the Bluefish. 51-24 in the last 75 games. That's all you can really say. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and timeout is called. Or is it a balk? Yes, it is. A balk is called, and Jorge Julio objects, and apparently the balk is being waved off. There's a little bit of a conversation being held, and the balk is not called. It's taken back. The runners move back to second and third. Oh, boy, I could not even explain the play. What happened? He settled down, and why are 2 Long Island runners down the third base line? Well, actually, that's 1. Both runners heading back. No balk. No play. You wonder why Jorge Julio would even bother looking at the runner at third base. That runner does not matter. The batter at home plate matters. A ball and 2 strikes. He locks in the 1-2. Swung on and poked foul down the right side. That was an outstanding pitch from Julio. Staying alive is Cancel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He kept his foot long enough in the stance to protect the plate. If he did not, that was strike 3. A ball and 2 strikes. Julio, big leg drive. The 1-2 is fisted into the shallow left center area where Chavez retrieves for the final out of the ball game. The Bluefish win its 70th game of the season and improve to 34-16. They come back from a 5-0 deficit to win 8-5 tonight. It's the largest comeback of the season for the Bridgeport Bluefish to win a ball game. The post-game show coming up right after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the coolest club around for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Baseball Bunch, you'll not only get free entrance into all 11 Sunday home games, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the bunch. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB's Baseball Bunch has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 and become a member of BB's Baseball Bunch.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Fear the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at bridgeportbluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles on hand. The Long Island Ducks owned a 5-0 lead at one point in the contest, but the Bridgeport Bluefish came back and win 8-5. The winning pitcher for the Bridgeport Bluefish is Denny Stark. He goes to 7-4 on the season. The losing pitcher of tonight's ball game is Kyle Jackson, the former member of the Bridgeport Bluefish. He moves to 3-10 overall this season. The save belongs with Jorge Julio, his 25th save of the season, as the Bridgeport Bluefish win by a count of 8-5. Tyke Redmond's 2-run shot, the biggest difference in the ball game to win the contest for the Bridgeport Bluefish. Tomorrow afternoon's game, the Bridgeport Bluefish take on the Long Island Ducks for the final time at the ballpark at Harbor Yard in the regular season. The Bluefish and Ducks square off Game 3 of this 3-game series tomorrow. It'll be Kevin Mannix against Jake Dittler. The video portion of the broadcast begins with the pregame show, the video session at 1:35 p.m. with a 2:05 first pitch from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. Tomorrow is an RBS book drive where gently used or new books can be contributed and distributed throughout the ballpark as an effort to improve literacy for infants through 8th graders. So make sure if you're a fan at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, or if you're a fan that's coming to tomorrow's game, bring a gently used or a new book to participate in the matter. And tomorrow is Family Fun Day, sponsored by Chet, where fans get to have their autographs from their favorite players signed, and kids get to run the bases after the ball game. The Bluefish reached 20 games over 500 for the first time this season, and they hope to go for 21 tomorrow. I am Perry Miles. We'll be back for the video portion tomorrow. The audio portion of the post-game show returns right after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned. I am Perry Miles. You're listening to the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of BB's Baseball Bunch. BB's Baseball Bunch is the cool